Good evening to you folks. Brandon Robinson here in the Sky Alert Weather Center, giving you a little bit of an update. We've got some severe weather moving through the region. Nothing tornadic at this point, but there is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for several counties. Let's go over to live pinpoint Doppler radar, show you what's going on tonight. We've been tracking this cell for a little while now, moving through parts of several counties in southern Kentucky. We'll zoom in here and show you kind of who's under the gun right now. Several counties in the WYMT viewing area under that warning until 11:15. That's Laurel, McCreary, Pulaski, Rockcastle, and Wayne counties. Severe thunderstorm warning. The reason I'm breaking in here to tell you about this system has been almost tornadic off and on again all night. This same cell spawned a tornado warning just across the border into Tennessee. So it's something that bears watching as we go through the next little bit. It is moving to the east, kind of the east-northeast, so to speak, at about 15 miles an hour, a little bit faster than that at times, but kind of varying speeds. So a couple of communities, let's zoom in and show you who could be seeing this in the next little bit. It's moving through Jamestown now and Russell County, through Burkesville over that way as well. I'll be coming through Cumberland County here in a few minutes. Now, it's not quite into the WYMT area yet, but it's moving this way. And this cell near Jamestown is pretty potent, and it's going to be moving toward Somerset, over toward that area in a little bit. Monticello could be under the gun in the next few minutes. Burnside, Science Hill, those communities there in central Pulaski County, take it in a little farther. Show you some of the areas in western Pulaski County, Nancy, Fallbush, Trimble, over that direction, down into Touristville in Wayne County, Span, Swifton. Now, at this point, let me reiterate this. At this point, this is not a tornado warning. Parts of eastern Kentucky still under the tornado watch box until 3 a.m. Severe thunderstorm warning is all this is. But for now, we're keeping a close eye on that. Just wanted to point that out to you. You see, some of the counties have been canceled, the big Sandy counties, Pike, Johnson, Martin, Floyd, and up into Lawrence. All those are not under the tornado watch anymore. Parts of southwest Virginia also under the tornado watch, and parts of eastern Tennessee. You see the cell moving there a little bit now into western Pulaski County. Let me take you back in here and kind of show you what we're looking at real quick. We'll get you back to programming. Just wanted to kind of keep you up to date. That cell now moving into the leading edge into Pulaski County. It's been through Russell Springs, been through Jamestown. No reports of damage so far from this system, but we've been tracking this one for a while. It's been kind of moving off and on in intensity. Hitting some of that cooler air may help bring down the levels of intensity as we go through the next little bit, but just wanted to kind of keep an eye on that one for you. McCreary County, we'll be seeing that here in the next few minutes as well, and then it'll keep on drifting through. If it stays as intense as it is, we may see that severe thunderstorm warning creep over into Whitley County, maybe into Knox and Bell counties, but we'll keep an eye on that and keep you posted. We're here with you all night, folks, until this situation dissipates, and now let's get you back into programming. Folks, we were talking about that cell looking pretty stout in southern Kentucky, and it is now a tornado warning in Pulaski and Wayne counties. Let's go to live pinpoint Doppler radar, show you what's going on right now. Pretty stout little cell. We've been tracking this across several states, including parts of Tennessee where it was a tornado warning earlier. Let's zoom in and show you what we've got. Okay, parts of Russell County, still seeing that right now. But it will move over into Wayne and parts of western county, or western Pulaski County rather, in the next few minutes. We'll see that developing until 11:15 is when this warning runs to. This cell's got a pretty good little history of affecting a lot of area over the last little bit. Started out in western Kentucky, way out there earlier, and now moving slowly east. It was a northeast mover earlier, but we're seeing that track off a little bit more. Let's turn on another radar here and see what it looks like on that view. Not too much there, but you can see that cell moving now into parts of western Pulaski County. Let's zoom in and show you some of the towns that'll be affected here in the next few minutes. All right, in western Pulaski County, we will have, taking it in a little farther here, We've got the community of Fallbush and Norfleet. That'll be affecting you guys in the next few minutes. Going past to the south of Dorena, coming through the community of Vinnie right now. I believe that's still in Russell County, though, right there on the border. Then in Naomi, also under the gun here in the next few minutes, we'll be moving through. So we're seeing a lot of that heavier bands of showers and storms. Let me see if there's anything about... No hail reports yet, but if you're in these communities, near these communities, please get to shelter right now. Again, this is a tornado warning for Pulaski and Wayne counties until 11:15 tonight. Very dangerous, strong cell. We've been tracking this for the last little bit as it's moved through parts of the region, and we're going to continue to see that move through as we go through the next little bit. I know I've been updating a lot on Twitter and Facebook tonight over on the website, so if you want to check that out as well, you can see that on WYMTnews.com. But this is a very dangerous storm system, and we're continuing to track that on live pinpoint Doppler radar. Let me get this out here real quick. Okay, there we go. And then we've got this going on. Again, we've tracked this across several states. Very, very dangerous as we go through. We'll be seeing that continue to affect these areas. Kevin, can we switch over to the other computer for a second? Okay. Let's put these tips up for you. This is basically what to do. If you're in a home, go to a basement at the lowest point of your home. If you're in those counties, interior hallway or a room, if you don't have a basement or a crawl space, stay away from windows and abandon those mobile homes. That is very unsafe at this time to be in, so keep all those in mind there. A bathroom works well as long as there's no windows or no big windows. Cover yourself. Make sure that you're down in an interior hallway, something like that. Just kind of get away from the outside walls as we go through this very dangerous storm system. We'll switch back over to Doppler, show you what we're looking at here again. Let me zoom back out, kind of show you the scope of this cell. We're looking at this going through parts of, let's see now, it looks like this system, let me put this into motion here real quick. It looks like this system over the last few hours, you'll track it here, see it coming in from the west. We'll be moving toward, I believe Somerset will get the tail end of this in the next few minutes. So Somerset, you're under the gun now. Take shelter if you live in Somerset or Monticello both. This is a very dangerous system, and it's holding together quite well. We thought here in the Weather Center that some of that cooler air from that first cell that moved through here a little bit earlier, got most of eastern Kentucky, would have calmed some of this down, but not being the case here tonight. Science Hill, Burnside, you folks also need to be taking shelter right now, and this goes to 11:15 tonight, so about another 25 minutes here on this Saturday evening. Again, a tornado warning if you're just joining us for Pulaski and Wayne counties. A lot of instability in the atmosphere today. A lot of folks to our south. Several tornadoes being affecting a lot of the area today. You've heard about that unfortunate situation down in Mississippi where those 10 folks were killed. Hopefully we don't have anything like that here tonight, but we do have a very dangerous situation nonetheless to see what's going on as we go through the next little bit. Now let me zoom back out here and kind of show you the setup as we go through the rest of the evening. Once we get this system by us, we should be okay. We're watching some severe weather to the southeast as well, but that seems to be kind of dying off a little bit, except as you get far, far down into Alabama, but that's nothing we're worried about right now. This should be the last of the cells unless something else develops, so we're keeping a close eye on that. Let me kind of highlight the counties here once again. Two counties under a tornado warning are Pulaski and Wayne, and that goes until 11:15. Then we have the severe thunderstorm warning for Laurel, McCreary, Rockcastle, those counties right there you see shaded in the yellow. Then the tornado watch for basically all of eastern Kentucky until about 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, most of eastern Kentucky, I should say. They allowed the big Sandy counties to expire a few minutes ago, so we're still watching that. But folks, very, very dangerous situation. Cannot stress that enough. These storms have been very potent as we went through the day. Been seeing a lot of hail associated with these, a lot of high winds. Still waiting on some damage reports from Tennessee. And you see this tornado warning extends into Tennessee for this entire cell, this entire line of storms here, folks. So that's something we're looking at as we go through here too. So even when this continues to move to the east, Claiborne County, Campbell County, you could be seeing some of this storm activity next little bit. Nothing yet, but you folks are still under that tornado watch as well. But the immediate danger is for Wayne and Pulaski counties, especially the western half of those areas. We're looking at that as we go through here this Saturday night period. Somerset, Burnside, Science Hill. Let me zoom in even farther so you can see some more of these communities here in western Pulaski. Nancy, the storm's right almost on top of you. Take cover now. Norfleet, the storm is on top of you folks, so get into your shelter right now, make those plans. Well, actually, the planning stage is over. Get into a shelter now, take cover, because this is a tornado warning, very potent storm system we've been seeing here, dealing with Naomi also under that. Let me see if I can highlight some roads here for you. Right along, let's see here, Robertsport Road, you're under the gun right now. Back toward Kentucky 80. Over here, Tartar Cemetery Road, and then you've got Dawes Ridge Spur Road. Highway 1664, you're right in the middle of it. And let's go on down here to Wayne County. See what we've got now back in two portions of western Wayne County. Touristville, you're under the gun. As we go through the next little bit, Highway 1275 there, you see that marked. Eadsville, Steubenville, Swifton, all those communities getting ready to see that Short Mountain. And then it'll be heading into Monticello, number 1 there, Slat. All those communities, you'll be seeing this in the next little bit. And as we zoom back out, folks, you see if this cell holds together, this system holds together, it's going to be another one of those situations where we're going to be dealing with this going not only through these 2 counties, but the next several counties over as we go through the next little bit. And again, this runs, the tornado warning rather, runs until 11:15 tonight, and then the severe thunderstorm warning has been continued as well for the Laurel, McCreary, Pulaski, and Rockcastle counties, and then parts of Wayne County as well, I think, until 11:15. So both of these going till 11:15 tonight, and we'll stay on the air with you here and check things out and make sure that you're in good shape here as we go through. So being told about 23 minutes left, so we're not going anywhere. We'll stay with you and just want to pinpoint some of these this storm. It's very dangerous, folks. Like I said, I've been tracking this cell for several hours now. It was a storm, nice little storm cell when it came through Tennessee. Some warnings just to the northeast of Nashville as that came through, but that's one of the things that we've dealt with tonight. We've been relatively lucky when it comes to these storm cells. Had a big chunk that moved over eastern Kentucky earlier in the day. Nothing severe out of that one. We did need that rain, a lot of forest fire activity, but right now we're tracking this severe weather here. Again, if you're just joining us on this Saturday night, tornado warning, a tornado warning in effect for parts of Pulaski and Wayne counties here at almost the top of the 11 o'clock hour, going till 15 after. Several counties under a severe thunderstorm warning. That includes Rockcastle, Laurel, and parts of McCreary County, also parts of Wayne County under this as well. Let me kind of highlight some of these areas here and show you what's going on. Okay. Basically all the same time, same counties you see here, but other counties that could be under the gun soon. We could see parts of Whitley County could be dealing with that. Laurel County could see this tornado warning. It really all depends on how this cell tracks and if it keeps all the potency and the intensity that we're seeing in that cell now. We'll be dealing with that over the next little bit, kind of seeing what's going on there. Still waiting if there's any reports of hail. Some of the impacted locations, Somerset and Steubenville, the Hogue community, Mill Springs, Betsy, Science Hill, the Pulaski Somerset Airport over that way, Ferguson, Burnside, obviously. Take you in here again, show you kind of where the storm cell is right now as of 10:54. Nancy just south of you folks, but still could be seeing some strong winds. Heard reports out of this system of up to, let's see, check some data out here, up to, it's moving at 30 miles an hour. Haven't heard anything about the winds just yet. Doppler indicating that about 8 miles north of Monticello and 6 miles northeast of Parnell. So we'll be dealing with that as we go through the next little bit. Let me check out some new data here real quick. Take you into Wayne County, show you what's going on down there as we go through. And a part of this cell also coming through Wayne County. Let me see if I can get in a little closer here and show you some of these communities that could be affected in this area. According to the roads here, it kind of looks like it's sparsely populated. No cities showing up on the map, so that may be a good sign. But even though some folks living in those areas because of those roads need to take shelter, that's in western Wayne County. So keep that in mind as we go through the next little bit. And then again, we'll zoom back out here, kind of give you a wider view, show you what's going on across the entire area as we go through the evening and overnight hours here. Now these storms should start to diminish as we go through the next little bit and start to die off because there's really not a lot left. You might have went outside earlier and I noticed, and when I came out this afternoon about 11 or 12:45, that it was real juicy kind of out there feeling. The humidity was way high, and Jimmy and I talked about that yesterday. We were nervous about that tied in with the sunshine and the just general instability of this system could cause this kind of possibility to pop up as we went through the overnight hours. And actually, the system started out moving very fast. It was coming in at about a 50-mile-an-hour clip and slowed down quite a bit as we went through the last few hours. Let's zoom it back in here, show you where we're at right now. Again, if you're just joining us here at 10:56 at night, we have a tornado warning. Tornado warning in effect for Pulaski and Wayne counties in southern Kentucky. And you see Somerset now, the cell is closing in on that location. Ferguson, Burnside, not quite reached Monticello yet in Wayne County, but it's just to the north of that area, so probably northern Wayne County, more so under the gun than anybody else at this point. But central Pulaski County, Burnside is probably going to be one of the larger communities hit there, but that area of the area of that county will be the one we're watching the most closely. Also, a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings out too in advance of this sale. The folks over at the NWS kind of advancing that a little bit and showing you. We'll zoom out here. Laurel County, Rockcastle County, and McCreary County. We'll see those severe thunderstorm warnings as we go through until 11:15 tonight. And you see on the back side of this at Cumberland County, I think I can't really tell in Russell County just yet, but those counties have already been downgraded to a severe thunderstorm warning. So that's good news on the back side of that there's nothing else coming. So we'll be seeing that start to change as we go through the next little bit here. Again, very dangerous situation as we go through the evening hours here on this Friday night, or Saturday night rather. Got kind of confused there for a second. We're all right on this Saturday night here. If you're in those areas, Somerset though, definitely right now, Burnside, take cover. You see that cell getting closer and closer. Now, we've gotten some redevelopment here to the south, so we're seeing some dangerous conditions down here now, probably in all of Wayne County. Monticello, you're under the gun. Let's zoom back in here, see if we can show you some more communities in Wayne County that may be affected. But Somerset, people living in Somerset, Ferguson, Burnside, Western Pulaski County, Central Pulaski County, take cover now. This cell is rapidly approaching you guys. Okay, folks living along Highway 90 in Wayne County, Monticello, let's take it in even closer, see what else we can find here. Merle, Zula, Swifton, Watauga, those folks, Ray Gap, that's where you're going to be seeing these cells move through over the next little bit. High winds, a definite possibility, and we'll see that continue to move through about 30 miles an hour. It's moving to the east, northeast, and we started this a couple of minutes ago, and we'll continue this until 11:15 tonight. Again, there was a tornado warning going on here for Pulaski and Wayne counties. I thought we might dodge a bullet on this one, folks, but we didn't seem to get that lucky. These cells are just kind of been potent all day long, and it's almost felt like a June or July day out there to start us off, so that's one of those things we were kind of keeping a close eye on, and we got lucky with the first little bit of this system, and now on the backside, it's going to try to get us. We do have a tornado watch. Let me zoom in out here, show you kind of the area. Tornado watch in effect for a lot of eastern and southern Kentucky until 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. The big Sandy counties, Pike County, Floyd County, Martin County, Johnson County were allowed to expire. Also Rowan County up toward I-64 because a lot of those storms had dissipated. And even now, this cell is not going to push over far enough to probably be a problem for those big Sandy counties. That's why they were allowed to expire. So we're seeing this in parts of southern Kentucky, back towards Somerset again, Somerset, Pulaski County, Wayne County, Monticello. You guys are under that tornado warning until 11:15, about 15 minutes from now, unless that's extended, which it might be because especially the south end of this cell is not losing a lot of its potency. And then you go right across the border in Tennessee, some of those counties being affected as well. I would not be surprised if we see this warning extended into McCreary County, maybe even into Laurel County, depending on the northern end of this cell. It looks like it might be dying off a little bit on the northern end, but the southern end really stout still as we go through the evening hours here. You can see that indicated by those brighter purple shades as we go through the evening hours here. But again, we cannot stress enough how serious the situation is. You see there the Albany community, I believe that is Cumberland County. Let me double check that it's outside the WYMT viewing area. That is Cumberland County or Clinton County, one of the two. And that Albany right under the gun too as well, but that's moving really rapidly into western Wayne County. So we'll be dealing with that too as we go up into parts of the evening tonight as we go into the next few minutes, rather, we'll be seeing that continue to be an issue for us as we go through the next little bit. Let me zoom back out here. I'll give you a recap at the top of the hour here, what's going on tonight around southern and eastern Kentucky. A tornado warning in effect for Wayne and Pulaski counties. The bulk of both these cells moving into Somerset now, the big city area of Somerset. So Somerset, Ferguson, those folks. Okay, let's see what we've got here. New data coming in. Okay. It looks like, let's see here. Okay, the tornado warning has been allowed to continue for Pulaski and Wayne counties till 11:15, but they're also issuing a severe thunderstorm warning until 11:30. So on the backside of this, folks over at the National Weather Service are concerned that it could still be an issue. So that's one of those deals too. Also, an aerial flood advisory just came out till 2 a.m. That's for Jackson, Estill, Powell, Pulaski, Rockcastle, and Wayne counties. So it looks like some heavy bands of rain coming through here with this system as well as we go through. So right now, tornado warning still in effect for Pulaski and Wayne counties. Cannot stress how dangerous this storm cell is. It was creating some problems over into eastern Tennessee, middle Tennessee earlier, and now across the border, moving east-northeast at about 30 miles an hour. So it's coming at a good clip. Now, as we get through the next few minutes, you see these severe thunderstorm warnings in McCreary County and Laurel County, Rockcastle County. Those might be upgraded. We don't have any official word on that just yet, but we're dealing with that as well as we go through the evening hours tonight. We're going to stay right here with you until we find out what's going to happen here. And if you want to get those reports in, we're on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at WYMTB Robinson, or you can find me on Facebook at Brandon Robinson WYMT. Get those reports, and I may not be able to check them as much right now, but I'll get to them here in just a second and see what's going on as we go through the next little bit. But we're dealing with that as we go through this evening hours here. Like I said, we got real lucky earlier. The first cell took us down a little bit, enough to kind of coat the area, bring the temperatures down, kind of cure some of the instability in the atmosphere, but that is not the case now in southern Kentucky, and this cell is a doozy. It really runs. Let me zoom out and show you how far this whole line runs. Now, not all of it's severe, obviously, but we'll take you out and show you where this line runs here. If we can hold on here, folks. There we go. Got to take it the right way. All right, basically from the Ohio River all the way down into parts of middle Tennessee. So look at that. But the main cell right there, you see all the brighter shades of red where the tornadic activity is, back into portions of southern Kentucky and into middle Tennessee. But again, let me show you some of these cities that are under the gun right now as we speak. As of 11:04, Somerset, it's right on top of you folks. You need to be in your shelter. And then over into Wayne County, it's into western Wayne County now. And we'll see that moving toward Monticello very rapidly in the next few minutes. This storm system is moving very quickly. Kev, let's switch over to the tips if we can and show you what's going on there. These are the safety tips for if you're in a tornado, go to a basement or the lowest point of your home. Cross bases work. If you live in a mobile home, abandon that immediately. You can either find another shelter of some sort. If you're desperate, you can lie down in a ditch, flat, or just look for another shelter besides a mobile home. Stay away from windows. An interior hallway or room will work. A bathroom with very limited windows. Keep that in mind. And also, if you get in the bathroom, the bathtub's always the best place to get. Kind of hunker down, cover yourself, in case there's that coming through there. But you don't want to be outside or without shelter tonight, folks, because this is a very dangerous storm moving through parts of Pulaski County now into the city of Somerset. Also, we'll zoom it in here. Let's go back to Doppler. Zooming in to show you where we're at now. Ferguson, Sugar Hill. We're approaching you guys next minutes, but it's right over the city of Somerset as we speak. And this runs into 11:15 this evening, unless it gets extended, which it may. And then we have a severe thunderstorm warning out for several areas. Now, here we go on the lower end of this cell, crossing into parts of western Wayne County, Swifton, Merle. You guys are going to be seeing that here in the next few minutes. Watauga over into, I believe that's Cumberland County. Seeing that right now. Steubenville, Touristville, Span, Monticello, going even farther to the east, Pueblo, Barrier, Delta. You guys are right in the path of this storm, so take immediate shelter if you haven't already. Folks, we just cannot stress how dangerous conditions like this are, because we'll be seeing this roll through parts of the rest of southern and eastern Kentucky as we go through the rest of the evening hours, and that's just one of those things that we're going to be dealing with over the overnight period. Unfortunately, I was hoping some of these storms would die down, but it doesn't seem that's going to be the case. But the good news is, this should be, unless it redevelops out west, the last major system we have to deal with tonight, and we'll be dealing with that for the next little bit. Again, if you're just joining us, let me reiterate what we're looking at tonight. Let me zoom in out here and show you what's going on. We have a tornado warning for Pulaski and Wayne counties for about another 9 minutes or so, unless it's extended to 11:15, and then we'll have a severe thunderstorm warning for a couple counties. Let me look here and see something. We may have had some expirations in the last little bit. Okay, we do have, no, just cut back a little bit. The severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for, all right, here's some new data coming in. Let's check this out real quick. Okay, the severe thunderstorm warning for north central McCreary, northern Wayne, and southwestern Laurel counties is canceled. Okay, so just a little bit left on this warning, and looks like northwestern McCreary County is still under that a little bit, and then western Laurel County and I guess Rockcastle's out completely. So that's no, Rockcastle's still in it. Okay, there we go. Getting our data together here, folks. We've got you covered, and we've got that tornado warning for Pulaski and Wayne counties until 11:15 tonight. Very potent storm. I would not be surprised if this warning carries over into McCreary County for this cell here, especially south central southern McCreary County, and maybe even as far as Whitley County and farther over. It really all depends on how well this cell holds together. As we go through the next few minutes, we'll be watching that, kind of keeping tabs on it, see how that's going to hold together, how that's going to do. But for right now, a very dangerous situation, folks, as we go through the next few minutes. We'll be kind of staying on the air here, keeping an eye on this to see exactly how it tracks. A lot of the major part of that cell now into Wayne County. Let's zoom back in and kind of show you Wayne County now. Heavier bands of rain moving through Somerset. Keeping that in mind too. Show you one look here real quick before we go down to Wayne County with those communities being affected. Take you into Wayne County. I believe that's where we're going to stay for the next little bit. Swifton, you're under the gun right now. Merle, it's approaching you real fast. Monticello, you folks need to take cover if you haven't already, because this storm system is moving very rapidly. Heavy winds, a definite possibility, maybe even some hail. Haven't heard any reports just yet, but we're keeping our eye out for that and kind of keep you posted as we know more and go through the next few minutes here into the evening and overnight hours. Now let's check out and see what we're looking at over the next little bit. Okay, and then we're going to see this continue, this warning at least, the active warnings for Pulaski and Wayne until 11:15 unless something changes. So it's 11:09 now straight up, so about 6 minutes left unless we have some extension, which I believe we might, because this system here still looks pretty stout, part coming through Wayne County. So that's one of those things we need to watch as we go through the next little bit. Now some stronger bands of showers and thunderstorms into central Pulaski County as well. Somerset, Burnside, Science Hill. Let's take you into eastern Pulaski County here real quick and show you some of the communities over there that this will be moving through in the next few minutes. We see Stab, Shopville, Piney Grove, Acorn, Eula, and then Dykes and Whetstone going up to a little bit, Sinking Valley, Conrad, Van Hook, Plato, and then you see it coming through parts of Coyne and Welborn now, and all the way back up to Elrod a little bit. But Sugar Hill, Science Hill, Somerset, City of Somerset, just to the big cell in Pulaski County is actually between Sugar Hill and Somerset. You're probably seeing a lot of lightning, some heavy rain with this. And we're watching to real sure, because no spotted reports, no reports of a tornado on the ground, just Doppler radar indicating the conditions are ripe for those. We're kind of keeping that in mind as we go through the evening hours here. But the main bulk of this system moving through Wayne County, and that I believe is the most dangerous part of this cell. Highway 90, folks living along Highway 90, that cell's coming right at you folks. So let's make sure that we get to shelter now if we can. Let's pop up those tips one more time if we can here, Kev, and we'll show you what you need to be doing. Go to a basement. or lowest point of your home, crawl space, an interior hallway or a room. Bathrooms are good, especially they don't have a lot of windows and they're away from the exterior of the house. Stay away from windows and abandon those mobile homes, folks, because you do not want to be in a mobile home when that kind of a cell moves through here. So seek shelter in other locations as we get away from this possible tornado. Nothing reported on the ground just yet, but we're monitoring that very closely as it moves through parts of southern and south central Kentucky this evening. A lot of storms moving across a lot of the southeast, so we're going to be dealing with this problem as we go through the next little bit. Okay, let's see what we have here. Some new data coming in. All right, this is actually kind of surprising to me, because I would have thought this would be the one that stayed for a little bit longer. Okay, the tornado warning for Pulaski still in effect until 11:15, and Doppler radar indicating a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near the Trimble community, 6 miles southwest of Somerset, moving northeast. Okay, I see what it is now. This cell has shifted a little bit to the northeast. So what we're seeing here in Wayne County will shift up into parts of Somerset and Pulaski County. So we're dealing with that as we go through the evening hours here. And I'm not sure if the entire warning has been allowed to expire, but maybe. Let's look here and see. Yes. No. Okay. The tornado warning for north central Wayne County is canceled, but I guess the western half of that still in there, and then the rest of the county under a severe thunderstorm warning. It's kind of a split here, folks, but you can see where some of the worst of it is as we go through the overnight hours, and then we're seeing also, don't forget about the much of eastern Kentucky still under that tornado watch box until 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. Now, if this cell and some other ones around start to die out a little bit, that may not continue as we go through, but for now we're keeping a very close eye on that to see what's going to happen over the next few hours and how we're going to have to deal with this as we go through the next little bit. Okay, let's recap for you here real quick. It is 11:12, and we're on the Saturday night, and we're keeping an eye on a tornado warning in parts of, well, it's the whole county of Pulaski and parts of Wayne County now, mostly western and northwestern Wayne County under the gun right now, just to the west of Monticello. Somerset dealing with some of that as well. This system is moving to the northeast very rapidly, about 45 miles an hour. I haven't heard any reports of damage and no reports of tornadoes on the ground, just Doppler radar indicating those tornadoes possibility as we go through the next little bit, and we'll be dealing with this over the next few hours, hopefully starting to die out in the next little bit. Hopefully we won't have to deal with this as we go into your Sunday, but for now this is a pretty stout little system. It's not wanting to give up just yet, so we're going to stay with it as we go through the next few minutes here till 11:15. We're not going to leave you hanging at this point. We're going to see what happens here. Got about a minute and 20 seconds left on this current warning, but I would not be surprised if that warning for Pulaski County is extended as we go through the next little bit. Okay, let's see what we got here. New data coming in. The potential for that severe thunderstorm warning going through parts of Pulaski and Rockcastle, and then I believe it's still in effect for parts of McCreary County and Laurel County as well, up to 70 mile an hour winds, 3/4 inch hail possible. That's not reported, that's possibilities. So, keep an eye out for that as we go through the next little bit, and still no indication. Let's see what we got here on the next little bit of data coming in. Fairly quiet at this point. Okay, not much coming in new, but let me recap here with you. If you're just joining us, I know you might be watching the programming and might want to get you a snack or something, but if you're in southern Kentucky, Pulaski County, the entire county of Pulaski under a tornado warning till 11:15. Part of Wayne County, I believe the northwestern edge, you see right there where the cell with the brighter bands of purple is located. You guys are under a tornado warning as well for about the next couple of minutes. Actually, it's 11:15 right now. I believe this may be extended. Let's see how it goes though in the next little bit, because this cell looks pretty potent, and the severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for parts of some other counties. Okay, let's see what we've got here. All right, no updates just yet, I believe. Okay, new data coming in. Let me check it out, see what we've got here. I believe we've allowed the tornado warning to expire for Pulaski County. I believe that's what my new data is telling me, and also all of Wayne County, I think. I believe that's the case. So now we have some tornado warnings across the border in Tennessee, and I don't believe, no, nothing close to us just yet, but that system moving to the northeast as we go through the nighttime here. Very dangerous system, folks. We've been tracking this for a little bit now, and we're seeing some of that continue to be a factor in our weather. We've tracked this all the way through Tennessee. It came through parts of western Tennessee earlier today, now wanting to move through now parts of southern Kentucky, and this is a very dangerous situation, so just remember that as we go through the next few hours. We'll be tracking this system all night long until it dissipates. We're not going to leave you hanging. We're here with you. That's why we're going to be out on television, because we keep you informed in things and times like these and kind of keep you posted on what's going on. I'm still waiting on the latest information here, but I believe the tornado warning has been allowed to expire. Let's see here. Still waiting on the new data. Okay, what have we got here? All right, new data coming in. We haven't updated just yet, but we have that tornado warning for McCreary and Wayne counties now till midnight. That's going till midnight, and McCreary County has been added as well. So we're seeing that. Actually, it's McCreary and Wayne Pulaski's out of it. So new tornado warning in effect now. You folks in McCreary County, I was kind of expecting this. We're seeing this as we go through now. Until midnight tonight for parts of Wayne County and McCreary County, tornado warning, a tornado warning for parts of McCreary and Wayne counties as we continue to go through the evening here. Pulaski, you're kind of off the hook for now for the tornado part. Still a severe thunderstorm warning, a very potent tornado, or very potent system rather, that has the possibility to bring some tornadoes through. So we're watching that as we go through the next little bit. So let me update some things here and check out what's going on. Let me zoom you in here, show you some of the communities that are under the gun right now, and I'll get some new data in here real quick and show you what we've got working for us here tonight. Okay, take you in here. Okay, coming through Monticello now, and that'll be affecting central and eastern Wayne County as we go through the next little bit. 92, Highway 92, you folks living along there, and parts of eastern Wayne County, you need to take shelter right now, and we'll be seeing that move into parts of McCreary County as we go through the next few minutes. That new tornado warning runs until 12 o'clock, so about 42 minutes from now. We'll be tracking this story the whole way, keeping you up to date on what's going on and as we go through the next little bit. But this is a very dangerous system. Cannot reiterate that enough as we go through the overnight period here tonight, the evening and overnight period. We're seeing these continue to pop up here on Doppler radar, these cells, but this, with any luck, will be the last one we have to deal with, at least tonight. I hope so, but because it looks fairly quiet out to the west for now. Let's kind of zoom you out and show you the big picture here real quick and show you what's going on as we go through the next little bit here. And you see out west, all those tornado watches were allowed to expire. And then back down to the southwest, back in Alabama, they're still seeing a lot of that activity across the deep south, but it's a little warmer down there, a little cooler here in the mountains, which is helping us a little bit. But we've still got a few potent cells trying to pop up here, staying with us as we go through the evening and overnight period here on this Saturday. But it is April, it's late April, and you know, folks, as well as I do, we're getting to that time of the year where we're going to see more and more chances for severe weather pop up. We've been relatively lucky so far, but it seems like it's been a pretty bad year in general for weather because we had all that snow, and now, you know, we thought that was a thing in the past, but now it looks like we're going to be dealing with some showers and storms from here on out. But you know as well as I do, it's Eastern Kentucky. If you don't like the weather, just wait 10 minutes, it'll change. But we're dealing with a very dangerous situation here tonight. Do not want to downplay that at all. We're seeing that line of severe showers and storms move through parts of Wayne County. Now, Monticello, this cell, the main cell is right on top of you folks. If you're not in shelter, you need to seek shelter right now, because we're seeing that move through as we go through the next little few minutes here. Also coming into parts of southern Wayne County. Now, I would not be surprised if, so we're still a ways off, but the closest Tennessee county in our area would be northern Campbell County on the other side of Whitley County. Would not be surprised if this cell continues to move the way it is, that we'll see this warning continue to be expanded across East Tennessee and maybe even into Whitley County if it keeps going as it's going here in the last little bit. Haven't heard anything about any reports of damage, which is good. We have not spotted a tornado on the ground Doppler radar, just indicating that we're seeing the chance, the possibility, the instability in the atmosphere that we might see that as we go through the next few minutes here. But you see where the bulk of these showers and storms are right now. And get back into Pulaski County a little bit where everything has been allowed to, I think, expire for Pulaski. Yes, the severe thunderstorm warning for eastern Pulaski, south central Rockcastle been allowed to expire. So those are gone. And now we're just dealing with those tornado warnings down here in Wayne County and McCreary County. Now, if you get over to McCreary County, Whitley City, Stearns, Pine Knot, let's zoom into western McCreary County here so we can see on the cities. Okay, Slavens, Yamacraw, Cooperative, Camargo. You folks are going to be right in the path of this severe storm. Anybody on Highway 92, let me take you and show you some of these smaller roads. Dobbs Hollow Road, Skullbone Tower Road. I can't see that one. Let me zoom over here just a little bit. Scoot it to the left for you. Okay. Burks Creek Road, Bell Hill Road, Rocky Branch. You folks will be seeing this in the next few minutes. You can kind of see now where the line is. For some folks in McCreary County, it might even be raining at this point, but I assure you the rain is coming. We're going to be dealing with that as we go through the next few minutes. And again, very dangerous storm situation here as we go through the next little bit. We'll be dealing with this over the next about 39 minutes or 38 minutes here till midnight. Again, if you're just joining us, let me recap what we're seeing so far. Tornado warning, a tornado warning for parts of McCreary and Wayne counties. We'll be dealing with that as we go through the next little bit. And checking Twitter here real quick. Okay. Had a report of a tornado on the ground, but that's not us. That's another cell to the south. Good deal. Okay, spotters, not spotted anything just yet. Doppler radar just indicating the chance for this to start getting more severe in the next few minutes. The potential for it to get more severe. Let's say that. But we're seeing that move through as we go through the next little bit. Let's see. Let me get some more data. I'll check it real quick. Okay. Nothing new there. All right, let's check this out and see what we've got here. Okay. Some new data coming in here. All right. Okay. Severe, well, no, just changed again. All right. Okay, we're still up to date. We're still on it till midnight for McCreary and Wayne counties. Until midnight, the tornado warning in effect. Still trying to see if any of these severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect. I believe they're all expired, but let me just double check. Okay, we do have one left. Okay, I thought we did. Severe thunderstorm warning till 11:30, which is in about 7 minutes or so for parts of Pulaski and Wayne counties. Possibilities of wind up to 70 miles an hour, hail up to 1.5 inches. So that's pretty big. So keep that in mind as we go through the next little bit. And we're going to see this continue to be an unstable situation for the next few minutes, but things are cooling off. We're getting into the overnight period now. We should start to diminish some of these storms, and you see the storm cell that was pretty stout moving through parts of Somerset and Pulaski County earlier, already diminishing a little bit. So once we get this cell through here, if we can get this destabilized enough, we may be okay for the next little bit. But again, very dangerous situation, especially in southern, south central Kentucky, parts of eastern Tennessee as we go through. Now, none of the eastern Tennessee counties in the viewing area under this just yet, but we'll be dealing with this over the next few minutes in McCreary and Wayne counties. Again, this tornado warning running till midnight tonight. So it's a very packed little cell. Moving through Monticello now. So if you're not in shelter, you definitely need to be, because the storm is right over top of you. Let's switch over, show you the tips of what you need to do in a storm situation like this. Basically, go to a basement, lowest point of your home. An interior hallway or room will work. Stay away from windows and abandon those mobile homes and find some other shelter, because mobile homes are not a good place to be, especially if you've got winds up to 70 plus miles an hour. So that's one of those things we need to look at as well. Find some other shelter for you as we go through this very dangerous weather situation with these tornadoes, a possibility in parts of south central Kentucky. Okay, let's check it out here and see what else we've got. If there's anything new for you here. I believe we're still on the same track, but that line, really, look at that, runs all the way up of decent showers and thunderstorms through I-64. It runs basically from Ashland all the way down into parts of Estill County, just south of Richmond, all the way down to Somerset and back into Wayne County. Let me zoom in here on the Wayne County cell and show you where we're at this point. A lot of this cell right now in Wayne County. Monticello, you're under it. Swifton right now under the worst of it. Span, Steubenville, Touristville is closing in on you guys. Ray Gap, Barrier, Hidalgo, a lot of those communities. Slickford, Sunnybrook, you're seeing a lot of heavier bands of rain. Sandcliff, as we go through this evening hours here on this Saturday night, and we were hoping not to have any severe weather, but unfortunately that just wasn't the case tonight. And back into parts. Now, this cell actually goes back into parts of Pulaski County. It's still looking pretty stout to me on Doppler around Burnside and Ferguson all the way up to south of Somerset. So probably a lot of lightning and some hail possible with these systems, and then also some damaging winds as well. So something to keep in mind in McCreary County, because you're not seeing anything just yet. You're on the leading edge of that. So keep an eye on as we go through the next few minutes, but it looks like the definite bulk of this system is in parts of southern Wayne County now. Let's zoom in here on this cell, kind of show you again where we're kind of located at. Again, Slickford, pointing out some of these highways where it's approaching 167, and then we've got Slagle Hollow Road, and what is this road here? Okay, having a little trouble finding the road. Okay, some of the smaller roads just don't register, but okay, there's State Highway 10,009, just past that Hog Hollow Road, and then you get up here a little bit. What is this? Crispell Hollow Cemetery Road. So keep that in mind as we go through the next few minutes. This system is moving to the northeast and actually it's shifted on us again. It's moving east at about 50 miles an hour now, so it's picked up some speed and it shifted direction on us. So now, definitely would not be surprised if we see this warning go into parts of Whitley County as well, and it really all depends after that point where it's going to go from there, because this warning runs until midnight tonight for parts of McCreary and Wayne counties. Now, Wayne County definitely under the gun right now. Anywhere from Monticello southward, you folks need to be in shelter. Also, bleeding over into East Tennessee as well. But that warning, you saw that there, was just allowed to expire in East Tennessee. So it's now in, the bulk of this is into Wayne County. As we go through here, you see this cell picking up a lot of steam. Still very dangerous along Highway 167, anywhere from there until you get to the 90-92 split. So kind of keep an eye on that if you live in those areas. Make sure that you're taking cover right now. I believe Sunnybrook is in that area. Let me zoom back in here and kind of pinpoint some of these communities right in the middle of this mess as we go through. Slickford, Sumter, seeing that Oil Valley close, Burfield, it's closing in on you as we speak. Rocky Branch, Griffin, those areas. And 167 as we go down through there. And that'll be moving across the line into McCreary County very soon. It's a very dangerous cell, folks. It's got a long history, came out of western Tennessee, creating some problems for those folks down there. And now we're going to see this continue to be an issue for us here in southern Kentucky. I was afraid that if we had these severe thunderstorms pop up, that they would be in southern Kentucky. It seems like it's almost like Kentucky's Tornado Alley to some degree as we go through storm seasons like the spring here. But let's see what we've got here. Some new information coming in. A spotted report of estimated winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour, just a half a mile north of Somerset. No hail being reported at this point. So that's some good news about the hail, and the winds not so much, because we could still be seeing the possibilities for the winds to cause some damage. There we go. I just had to get my thoughts together there for a second, but we're looking at this very closely, kind of keeping an eye on this as we go through the next little bit, and we'll be dealing with this cell probably for the next couple of hours. It would not surprise me. It seems to be holding together pretty well as we go through the next little bit. Let me take... If we show you that view, I mean, it's holding together real well. A lot of heavier bands of showers and storms. I'm sure there's a lot of frequent lightning with this as well. And then also the possibility for hail. And again, Doppler radar indicating the possibility for tornadoes. No tornadoes have been spotted at this point. Getting another update here. Let's see what we have for you as we go through. Okay, what we got? All right, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. I'll tell you about it. Let's zoom out here, and this one goes pretty deep into eastern Kentucky. It goes for a lot of counties. Let's highlight some of them here. Show you kind of what we're looking at. All right, Clay, Jackson, Laurel, Lee, Owsley, and Rockcastle, parts of Pulaski County, under a severe thunderstorm warning until 12:15 a.m. And we're seeing those storms kind of staying pretty hot and kind of intensify as we go through the overnight area here. Now remember, the tornado watch is in effect for all of eastern Kentucky until we get to 3 a.m., or most of eastern Kentucky, I should say. The big Sandy counties were allowed to expire earlier tonight because when this cell moves through, it's probably not going to keep enough intensity to make it all the way into the big Sandy. Now, that's not saying it won't, but it shouldn't. We're going to keep a very close eye on this, and we're not going to leave until we find out for sure what we're going to do here and what this system's going to do. So keep it locked right here, WYMT, for the very latest. Now, the latest radar data showing this cell moving through parts of central Wayne County and into, folks, I tell you, this cell in southern Pulaski and central Pulaski County still looks pretty rough to me. It's moving through parts of eastern Pulaski County now, but the folks over at Jackson downgraded that to a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see here. It may just not have the potential anymore as you get up in there in the clouds, so to speak. But it still looks pretty stout. Let me switch the view over here and kind of, okay. But anyway, seeing a line of very heavy thunder shower activity there, thunderstorm activity. We can see lightning and hail, high winds a possibility as we go through the next little bit. And this system is tracking to the east as we go through the next little bit. So that's something to keep in mind. McCreary County, you're also under the gun right now. Not reached the line just yet, but you're seeing the leading edge of those showers, especially in northwestern McCreary County and then the western McCreary County. That will start to move downward as we go through the next little bit. Okay, on this severe thunderstorm warning, I got some new information on that for parts of a lot of parts of the I-75 corridor. It says capable of producing destructive winds in excess of 70 miles an hour. All right, here we go. We got some new information. Severe thunderstorm warning now out for Whitley County, and I would not be surprised, folks, if that is upgraded to a tornado warning as we go through the next little bit, unless this cell just loses a lot of its intensity, because you see it's pretty stout. So, folks, in McCreary County, Whitley County, you need to be prepared because this cell moving right towards your direction, moving toward the east. Let me check the direction here. Okay. Part of this cell, it's a little confusing, folks. Let me break it down. This part of the cell here in Pulaski County is actually moving to the northeast. This part of the cell and part of Wayne County is moving to the east. So those are one of the things we're going to have to watch as we go through the next little bit because it's a very dangerous and developing situation as we go through the overnight hours here. And you see a lot of purple there in Wayne County indicating those heavier bands of showers and storms because we're going to be dealing with that over the next little bit. And let me update some information here real quick on the internet and we'll go from there. But you can see right now where the bulk of this storm system is across parts of southern Kentucky as we go through this Saturday night. And folks, unfortunately, I guess you could look at this two ways. Fortunately for us, we've not had to deal with a lot of folks in the deep south have had to deal with all those tornadoes. I think it was more than 40 tornadoes being spotted in parts of the deep south. We do not have a tornado on the ground here. We're just looking at parts of Doppler radar indicating that for several counties, a couple counties there in eastern Kentucky. So keep that in mind as we go through the next little bit. Okay, let me update something here real quick. Oh, we went on some new data. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Now, back to, let's see what we've got here, checking this out. Folks, the main system, again, just cannot stress that enough, into parts of Wayne County, very potent as we go through the next little bit here, and that'll be slowly moving into McCreary County as we deal with this system continuing to push through over the next little bit. It's just one of those systems that's packing quite a bit of a punch. Again, we've tracked this from a great distance. It actually came from western Tennessee and moving through middle Tennessee and now into parts of southern and south central Kentucky. And that's going to continue to be the case as we go through the rest of the evening before this starts to die out. And I believe that's going to be the case here soon because there's just not that much energy left for these things to feed off of. It's cooling down. That first band of rain moving through there. So that's one of those things as well. Let's switch back over and show you the safety tips one more time here. Show you what we've got for you tonight. Go to a basement or the lowest point in your house is if you're in the tornado warning or if you're expecting to be under the tornado warning. Maybe folks in Whitley County pay heed to these. Lowest point in your home, interior hallway or room. Stay away from those windows and abandoned mobile homes and seek shelter. So if you folks in Whitley County, parts of McCreary County, now Whitley is not under a tornado warning yet, but if the system continues to track the way it's looking like it's going to, you guys may be under that warning very shortly yourselves. So you guys in McCreary and Whitley counties, keep that in mind as we go through the next little bit. Be dealing with that over the next couple of minutes. Now it's about 11:36 and this warning goes until midnight for parts of Wayne and McCreary counties, but you're seeing these severe thunderstorm warnings pop up all over the place. We'll be dealing with that over the next little bit. Okay, here we go. Some new data coming in. Okay, the earlier warnings for Wayne and Pulaski, the severe thunderstorms were allowed to expire, but certainly warnings have been issued, so they kind of cancel each other out. Okay, all right, let's take you back out here, show you kind of a regional view of what is going on here in southern Kentucky. Now, a pretty big line going all the way from, I-64 basically down to the Kentucky-Tennessee border of those severe thunderstorms moving through, and the Doppler radar indicating some possibilities for tornadic activity in the Wayne County cell, and that cell will be moving into McCreary County here in just a few minutes. So something to keep in mind as we go through the next little bit, show you what's going on here on Doppler radar, and we're glad that you're sticking with us tonight because we want to make sure that you're safe and get you through the situation as safe as possible and show you what's going on, and we'll see what we're dealing with as we go through the next little bit. Just heard from Jim Caldwell on Twitter, and he is in Lexington tonight, so he was reporting in that it's all quiet up there. He's actually past the system now, but we'll be dealing with this here at home for a little bit longer. But the good news is, after we get this part out, we should be okay because I believe this is the last of the major cells before things will start to quiet down overnight and give us a little bit of a break. Now, we've had a lot of heavy rain today in eastern Kentucky, which was good. Needed to saturate some of that ground. We were behind on rainfall, plus we had all these forest fires burning, so I'm sure that helped out quite a bit, but we didn't want to get to this stage where things are severe, and we'll be dealing with that over the next little bit. So that's just one of those things we got to kind of keep in mind here, take the good and the bad. So, all right, let's get a little bit of a recap here and show you what's going on. We're back into southern Kentucky once again with a couple of warnings to tell you about. Wayne County, right around the east of the Monticello area now. Let me switch views here. That major part of that around Kentucky 92, just cannot emphasize, folks, that's where the danger zone is. But tornado warning for about 22 more minutes for Wayne and McCreary counties. Folks, I would not be surprised to see this tornado warning pushed eastward into Whitley County, but no official words yet from the National Weather Service. We're keeping our eyes and ears posted on that one to see what happens, but for now you see where the bulk of this system is, and in parts of Wayne County, and then we go over to McCreary County, Whitley City, Stearns, Pine Knot. If you folks are watching tonight or have relatives down that way, tell them they need to be prepared right now, need to be getting to the shelters because the line is crossing the border from Wayne into McCreary County. So that's something to keep an eye on as we go through the evening hours here. And then again, if this system continues to be as potent when it gets close to Williamsburg and over into Whitley County, that's something we'll have to keep an eye on as well. Let's zoom in here to western McCreary County, see if we can find some communities that will be affected over the next little bit. Okay, White Oak Junction, the storm is coming up on you. Yamacraw, Worley, Smithtown, Camargo, all those communities along Highway 92. As we go through the next little bit, let's see what else. Water Tower Road, Rattlesnake Ridge Road, so another one there, Ray Jones Road, Irvin Jones Road, Virgil Jones Road, all those communities and those roadways that will be affected in the next few minutes. This cell is moving pretty quickly, so we'll be seeing this continue to be the case as we go through the next little bit. But again, a very dangerous cell, very dangerous situation. No reports of any tornadoes being spotted just yet. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Some new data coming in. The tornado warning is going to stay in effect until midnight tonight for Wayne and McCreary counties. That's now for southeastern Wayne, which basically everything past Monticello is kind of out of the woods. Now, there is a little bit of a cell trying to push through parts of, I swear I think that's Cumberland County. I get a little bit confused when we get outside the area. It's actually Clinton County, so I'm caught that there. So Clinton County, still some decent cells moving through there, but that should start to taper off as we go through the next little bit, and we should be seeing a little bit of an end to this come as we go through the next little bit. Now, there could be some redevelopment overnight, but otherwise we'll be in good shape tomorrow once we get the main bulk of this system through here. So tonight we have to worry about these counties. You see down here in southern Kentucky, we're looking at the counties in the bright red, Monticello and Wayne County, basically points east of Monticello at this point, and then Wayne County, the Stearns, Pine Knot, Whitley city communities. So be aware of that as we go through the next little bit, that you guys will be under the gun as well. This cell moving into parts of McCreary County now. And like I said a few minutes ago, I would not be surprised if this warning continues on into Whitley County. So you folks over there maybe want to be taking some precautions as well. Also some very strong severe thunderstorms moving through parts of Pulaski County, eastern Pulaski County, getting ready to make the jump over into Laurel County, Rockcastle County, parts of you guys seeing that as well. Now the folks over at the Weather Service are kind of assuming what I'm assuming, because this system has not really changed that much over the last few minutes. So I think it's going to continue to be pretty stout as we go through the next little bit. So a lot of those counties, the outlying counties in advance of these system, or this system rather, of storms will be under these warnings now. Let me kind of recap some of the warnings we have for you, severe thunderstorm warnings at least. Those are out for, get a bit of a wider view here. Okay, out for Clay, Jackson, Laurel, Lee, Owsley, Pulaski, and Rockcastle counties until 12:15, and then we've got the tornado watch out for a lot of eastern Kentucky. The counties you see there shaded in the lighter red till 3 a.m. this morning. The counties in the Big Sandy were allowed to expire. Floyd, Johnson, Martin, Pike, and up to Rowan County, because the folks over at the SPC, the Storm Prediction Center, and the National Weather Service, and saying that things are kind of dying down a little bit, or should die down a little bit by the time we get to that area. So that's something we'll be keeping in mind here as we go through the next little bit. Now again, a very dangerous storm system moving through parts of southern Kentucky. Cannot stress that enough. You need to be thinking about, if you're in McCreary County especially, or back over into Whitley County, I would not be surprised if parts of Laurel County see a lot of this heavier bands of rain. Excuse me, get a little drink of water there. Seeing these bands of rain as we go through the next little bit, but you got to keep in mind that this is a very dangerous storm system, and we'll be monitoring this over the next little bit. The warning, the tornado warning for parts of Wayne and McCreary counties goes until 12 o'clock midnight, which is about 16 and a half minutes away from now. So we're kind of keeping an eye on that and see how that goes. But it's really not died out any, according to Doppler radar. It's still pretty stout, pretty potent, a lot of instability roaming around the atmosphere. Let's check some of the temperatures. I'm kind of curious about that and see where we're at across a lot of the region as we go through the next little bit here. Mid-60s in a lot of places down there now, and then a little warmer in Monticello, which is helping probably fire some of these off. 64 Whitley City, 65 in Burnside, and then as you get back over this way, still a little warmer in parts of Whitley County, Williamsburg at 66, and then okay, most of us still in the mid-60s. It really depends on the temperatures, folks. You get past a certain point, there's just not enough juice, not enough instability in the atmosphere that we're going to be seeing these storms continue to fire off across, eastern Kentucky. But right now, we're still looking at that tornado warning continuing for those two counties until we get later on into the night. And right now, it's a pretty potent little cell as we get through the next little bit here until midnight. Let me update something here. I'll be right back with you, not leaving you. Promise. Waiting on some new data too. Okay. All right, let's see what the new data is here. All right. Storm located at 11:35, which has been a few minutes ago now, near Rocky Branch, near Monticello, moving east at 50 miles an hour. It's also capable of producing winds up to 90 miles an hour and hail up to golf ball size. So something to keep in mind as we go through the next little bit here, folks. A very dangerous situation in southern Kentucky. We're just having to deal with this tonight. And folks, just be prepared. That's the best advice we can give you. Stay here with us because we'll keep you up to date on exactly where this cell is going. We're tracking it live on Pinpoint Doppler radar tonight, and we hope that we're kind of getting you time to get prepared and be ready for these storms to move through, because again, a very dangerous situation. Cannot stress that enough as we go through the overnight period here, getting close to the midnight hour here on this Saturday night. Now again, this cell is now crossing into McCreary County, so you folks in Pine Knot and Stearns and Whitley City, you need to be finding shelter right now. Very dangerous situation. This cell has not really died down any in the last little bit. Again, those precautions are very well needed. If you're in a mobile home, abandon that right away. If you're in, be downstairs, lowest level of your house, an interior room, bathroom works real well. Let's pop those tips up there, Kev, real quick. Kind of show you as we go along here. Stay away from windows. One of those good things you can always do, because you might take the chance of injuring yourself. Go to a basement, lowest level of your home. If you have a crawl space, that would work in a pinch. I've always heard if you can't find, if you live in a mobile home, a ditch, a low-lying area, get as low as you can, will help as the best you can. But always just try to protect yourself, especially if you're in the bathroom. A tub is a good place to kind of hide. Make sure you take some blankets or some pillows to cover yourself up with in case there is that flying debris or that glass, because that'll help protect you as we go through this very dangerous situation. But we've tracked this storm system quite a ways, folks. It came through parts of western Tennessee, all the way from Arkansas and Louisiana earlier. But this is just one of the many systems that's moved across the southeast as we've gone through the next couple of days. And again, something that I want to stress, it's nighttime, folks. So these tornadoes, you may hear them coming if they're on the ground. We've not been spotted, nothing's been spotted yet, just Doppler radar indicating them. But if you can't see them, it's hard to see them at night unless you just get lucky and, well, I don't want to say lucky, but if you just lightning flashes and you see them, but you can't see them as well. So unless you hear that notable freight train sign or sound, you may be, and just as we go here, and then that's one of those things to be aware of as we go through there, that it's harder to see those tornadoes at night. Okay, a little bit of an update here. We're into McCreary County now. Let's zoom it in here. Highway 27, US 27, if you live along that, take cover right now if you're in parts of McCreary County. Now, this is still a little potent cell moving through parts of Pulaski County as well. Now, some stronger bands of showers and storms still moving through Wayne County, but I believe you're about to be out of it here in the next few minutes. This storm cell moving really quickly to the east at 50 miles an hour. Let's zoom in here on this potent part, kind of show you what's going on. Nevillesville, you folks are under the gun right now, back toward Wilborg. And just to the east of Keno. Let me go down here a little bit more. Okay. Okay, good deal. Well, we got a request here tonight, and I'll be glad to oblige that. We're seeing where the storms are moving through now, but let's zoom it out a little bit and kind of show you where they're going to be as we go through the next little bit here. Now, we do have a cell that we talked about, how this line moves pretty rapidly all the way up toward I-64. Let's take you into parts of northeastern Kentucky. I had a woman call real quick about Morgan County. And at this point, I believe you guys are okay. There is some stronger storms moving through the area, but still to There we go, West Liberty. Still to the west of West Liberty. Nothing severe at this point, just a few little heavier bands of rain. Some lightning and thunder would not surprise me. Maybe even some small hail. But at this point, you guys are just seeing some heavier rain. And a lot of eastern Kentucky as you go back down into the Mountain Parkway corridor and then down toward I-75. Just some heavier bands of rain for most of you. No severe thunderstorms yet, but that could be a possibility as we go through the next little bit. And then you see the severe thunderstorm warnings out for a lot of counties. Let me highlight some of these here real quick for you, kind of give you an idea what we're looking at as we go through here. Okay. Severe thunderstorm warning till 12:15 for Clay, Jackson, Laurel, Lee, McCreary, Owsley, Pulaski, Rockcastle, Wayne, and Whitley counties. But right now, we're seeing just a chance for that. Got a question on Twitter just a second ago about have we spotted a tornado or is it just on radar? No tornado has been spotted. No tornado yet, just indicating on Doppler radar. And had a couple folks ask me about Bell County. At this point, if it continues to move east, Bell County will be under the gun, and probably about, the system is tracking fast, but it seems like to me it's moving kind of slow. It may be in Bell County if it holds together and has the same potency as we go through in about an hour or so, give or take. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. So right around the 1 o'clock hour, maybe a little bit later, maybe a little bit sooner. But that's kind of an estimate right now. And that's if it holds together. So we'll be kind of keeping an eye on that as we go through the next little bit. Okay, the main story tonight, though, we're back into McCreary County and back into Wayne counties where there is a tornado warning. Let me zoom in here and show you some of the communities affected right now. Several communities in southern and eastern Kentucky under the severe thunderstorm warning, but a lot of areas, especially off to the north, seeing some of that possibilities for the heavier bands of rain, some thunderstorms, lightning and hail, strong winds a possibility, but nothing that's been measured to be anything severe at this point. But right here along US 27, Kentucky 92, Nevillesville, Wilbur, Slavens, some of the areas that we're dealing with that tonight, Yamacraw, Whitley City. This cell is moving right towards you guys. Honeybee on 90, Sawyer over in McCreary County, Youngs Creek, Duck Run. Actually, that's over in Whitley County, but that's the kind of the areas that are going to be affected by this. And this runs for about 8 more minutes. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Got my times confused here. It runs till 12:15, so about 20 or so more minutes till 12:15 for this warning. I believe. Let me double check myself. I may have my times back. No, I was right. 8 more minutes on the tornado warning, and then about 20 more minutes on the severe thunderstorm warning. So we're looking at that as we go here for the next few minutes. I would not be surprised, and I think this is going to be the case because this cell is not dying out, that we'll see this tornado warning extended into Whitley County, especially northern and central Whitley County, and then we may continue over into Knox if it keeps it as potent as it has been. But moving through Wayne County now, Monticello, you're kind of out of it. A little bit of a heavier band of rain coming through now. As we get to the next little bit, once we get this last line out of here, all that instability will start to dissipate a little bit, giving us a little bit of a break as we go through. All right, let's recap. As of 12:14, here's the counties under a tornado warning. This is a tornado warning until 12:45, so about 30 more minutes, roughly. Whitley County, McCreary County, Laurel County, Knox County, and Clay County. All those counties under a tornado warning until 12:45 tonight. Tornado watch is still out for a lot of eastern Kentucky. Basically, everybody but the Big Sandy until 3 a.m. And those counties, the Big Sandy, Floyd, Pike, Floyd, Pike, Martin, and Johnson counties, and then Round County up to the north out of that as well. But there are still some decent little storms popping up all the way up toward Morgan County and Wolfe County, all the way back into Lee, Estill, Owsley, Jackson counties. There are still some severe thunderstorm warnings out. Okay. Okay. This is new information coming in here. We do have reports from law enforcement in Grove and Whitley County. Let me take you back in here on Doppler and kind of show you where that's at as we go through the next little bit here. I'll zoom back in. Let me get a drink of water before we go into this here. Okay. Now, in the Whitley County area of Grove, we're seeing reports of hail up to 1 inch. So where is Grove? Let's see if we can find it here on the map. I'd say we're probably right in this area somewhere. Okay, but anyway, in the Grove community, inch in diameter of hail in Whitley County being reported. There, right there. There it is. Okay, right in this area, right in the heart of the storm, up to an inch of hail, or an inch round hail, near the Grove community of Whitley County. That's being reported by law enforcement. And getting on Twitter, 52 reports across 7 states of tornadoes. Haven't heard of anything here in Kentucky yet. Doppler radar indicating this tornado in these counties here in southern Kentucky. But at this point, we're doing okay on the fact that none have been spotted on the ground, which is good news considering a lot of the folks into the deep south have not been so lucky today. If we get away with just some heavy rain and maybe a little bit of hail and some light winds, we'll be okay considering what happened in Mississippi this afternoon. It could be a lot worse. So that storm system closing in on Corbin and London. London at the top end of that now. Okay. Some new information just coming down here. Let me update you. Severe thunderstorm warnings now in effect for Breathitt County, Clay County, Estill County, Jackson, Laurel, Lee, Leslie, Morgan, Owsley, Perry, and Wolfe counties until 1 a.m. So that's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for those counties until 1 a.m. So we'll be kind of monitoring that situation as well. These storms have started to pick back up a little bit. It's just one line. It's kind of keeping with us as we go through the overnight period here. So that's what we're looking at there. But the main bulk of the system, the main section I'm worried about now, right here around the Corbin area, coming through parts of northern Whitley County, getting ready to move into Knox County, and then into parts of Laurel County as well. Keavy, Fox, Grove, you all are under the gun right now. You need to take shelter immediately because we're seeing a lot of that movement through there now, and Doppler radar indicating a tornado as we go through the next few minutes. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let me add these new counties here real quick. Kind of keep everybody up to date. So we got Breathitt County and Clay County. Also Estill, Jackson, Laurel, Lee, Leslie, Morgan, Owsley, and Perry, along with Wolfe counties. I was kind of surprised they hadn't added Wolfe earlier, because that storm around Campton was looking pretty stout. A little earlier we were looking at it. Okay. But here now, Corbin, you're under the gun as we speak. North Corbin, Moore Hill, coming toward the Siler area. This is the bulk of this system. Again, if you're just joining us, tornado warning in effect until 12:45 for a lot of different counties. Clay, Knox, Whitley, McCreary, and Laurel counties until 12:45. If this system continues to move to the east, we'll see even more counties added to this. So right now, the city of Corbin is my main concern. We're seeing that move through there now. Woodbine also, you're under the gun. Back up toward Lilly and Ferriston. You guys are under the gun. McCarr coming soon. Siler for you as well. Rosslyn, Wilton. This is the main area of concern. Now this does run up toward London as we go through a little bit too, but it's not as bad on that end of it. Right here is the main bulk of that. The good news so far, I have not gotten any reports of any major damage or major hail, so that's good. But we're definitely right around the I-75 corridor, 25E, 25W. You guys need to be taking shelter right now, or you should have already been in shelter. We've been tracking this system, but if you're not in shelter, be in shelter right now, because this is where Doppler radar is indicating that tornado warning, or the tornado being indicated by Doppler, not been spotted on the ground, just indicated on Doppler, that we're dealing with as we go through the overnight hours here on this Saturday night going into Sunday morning. So Corbin, you're under the gun now. Woodbine, again, you guys be under here soon. Then back up toward Lilly as well. Getting a report now out of London, or actually out of Corbin. Just heard thunder, went outside, not raining just yet, just thunder and lightning. So it will be raining in Corbin very soon, if it's not just yet, because Doppler showing quite of a doozy there, and we appreciate Sue there for twittering that into us, and we're trying to get all the information up to date here. But that's the latest for now. And let's go back up here a little bit. I want to zoom it out and kind of show you what we're dealing with all around the region. But Corbin, Woodbine, Lilly, you folks right along the I-75, US 25E corridors, take shelter right now. That's probably the worst of this system. This system actually probably going to continue in the Knox County and may clip parts of north of Barberville, so that's something to keep in mind too. Gray, you guys might see this here in the next few minutes, so keep that in mind as we go through the overnight period here, that these storms still packing quite a wallop as we go through here, and we're trying to keep you up to date and up to the minute here. What's going on? Excuse me, folks, got a little bit of congestion here with me tonight, but we'll get you through here. My allergies acting up today. Okay, let's take you all the way off to the east. Basically, this line runs from Huntington all the way down. So Morgan County, you guys seeing a decent little thunderstorm right now coming through West Liberty. Wolfe County, Campton, you all seeing a decent little thunderstorm back into parts of Owsley. Jackson counties down toward Laurel County as well. But and then Somerset back out into Wayne County a little bit. Still seeing some decent showers and storms, but that's about it at this point. And it looks like we're seeing a little bit of weakening here over the last few minutes, so that's kind of good news for all of us. We're also seeing a few showers pop up here into Leslie County. One of the reasons for that severe thunderstorm warning to be issued in southern Perry County as well. Harlan, a few showers over that way, and then otherwise everybody else pretty much dry. Middlesboro, not seeing too much in Bell County just yet, but I'm afraid this system coming through parts of Knox County in the next few minutes may clip northern Bell County, so that's one of those things we have to watch as we go through the overnight hours here. Also some showers developing into Claiborne County, and then a couple little storms developing into Lee County in southwest Virginia. But the main system, the main thing we're worried about now, okay, let's see what we've got here. Looks like a little bit of information has been updated. Let's see what we've got here coming down from the National Weather Service. Okay. I believe McCreary, yes, and that's no surprise, has been allowed to expire. Clay, Knox, Laurel, and Whitley under this tornado warning until 12:45. Clay, Knox, Laurel, and Whitley under the tornado warning until 12:45 this morning. Okay. Take you back in here, show you the main area of concern once again. I keep focusing on this, folks, because this is a major system. This is a major player here tonight. Basically moving very rapidly, though, so that's kind of helpful. I already moved through most of Corbin, Woodbine, seeing some of that now, over into the McCarg area, back toward, let me zoom in here a little bit more, Tuttle. You guys be seeing the next few minutes, and then Subliminity City, London, past you already. All right, here we got, all right, the emergency manager down in Corbin got an information report in, inch and 3/4 hail down in Whitley County and Corbin. So that's something to keep in mind here. So that'd be right about here in the, probably right around in this area for that hail right there between Corbin and Woodbine. So something to keep in mind. Now, these storms, let me zoom out here. I'm going to draw a little bit tonight and show you kind of where we're looking at. You're seeing some of them the way they're tracking, but basically this system is kind of pushing off to the northeast to some degree. Now, part of the system is also moving to the east, so that's why I kind of say that northern Barberville might be clipped. And if it continues on, let me zoom out here a little more, and I'll show you some of the areas that may eventually be affected by this storm cell as we go through the overnight period. If it keeps the intensity, right now it doesn't look like it's going to die off very much, but let's just say we go straight east, that would take it into Harlan County that way. And then you go east this way, we take it into Leslie County, and the top section would even go into southern Perry County. So something to keep in mind as we go through the next little bit. We're definitely not there yet, but some severe thunderstorm warnings as we go through the overnight hours tonight. But it's just one of those things that we're going to have to keep a close eye on, and I'll let you know what's going on. But we're going to deal with this as we go through the next little bit. And again, the tornado warning for McCreary County has been allowed to expire. That was supposed to go until 12:45, but that has expired. And now we're looking at tornado warnings for Clay, Knox, Whitley, and Laurel still in effect until 12:45 a.m. this morning. Now, Corbin, you're out of it for the most part. A few little showers and storms until we get through the next little bit, but it's moving now into parts of eastern Whitley County into Laurel County and maybe even in the Knox and Clay counties in the next little bit. So keep that in mind as we go through the next little bit. Okay, let's kind of take a step back and reevaluate. It is 12:25. You're just joining us, about 20 minutes left on this. Tornado warnings in effect for Knox, Whitley, Clay, and Laurel counties until 12:45 a.m. Let me highlight these areas, kind of give you an idea what we're looking at here. Okay, then we have some severe thunderstorm warnings still in effect for some areas. Breathitt, Clay, Estill, Jackson, Laurel, Lee, Leslie, Morgan, Owsley, Perry, and Wolfe counties. Those go until 1 a.m. So these storms pretty potent. And then again, got the tornado watch for a lot of areas in eastern Kentucky, excluding the big Sandy counties until 3 a.m. this morning. Now, one of my folks just told me on Twitter it didn't last very long, especially in the Corbin area. That's good news. It's moving very rapidly. So the good news is it really doesn't have time for these systems to stay very potent for very long. Because if they're potent, you might see a little hail, a little damage, you went, and they're gone. So they're not. It's not going to sit over the same area and just create damage over and over and over again as we go through the next little bit here. So that's one of those things to keep in mind as we go through the next little bit and the next couple of minutes. Now, let me reply here just a second and see what's going on here. A couple places. I'm getting a lot of people requesting specific information about their areas, and I'll do my best to get to those. But if you don't hear from me here in just a couple of seconds, give me just a minute. We'll get you updated, and we'll continue and see what's going on here, and we'll continue to update you as we go on this evening. Looking at some new data here. Okay. All right. Let's take a look over here now. See what's going on. Not much in the way of new data just yet. But you see this line extending all the way up through parts of all of eastern Kentucky. At this point, it's just one of those things we have to deal with tonight. And unfortunately, we got to deal with this continuously as we go through the next little bit. Again, a lot of counties under the gun right now. We're dealing with that as we go through the next few minutes. Okay. All right. Multitasking like a fool here tonight, folks. Give me just a second, and we'll get you back in here and show you what the latest is with this tornado warning. Now, again, the good news is, if there is good news when it comes to severe weather, this is only being not even really been spotted on Doppler. It's just Doppler indicating the possibility of this as we go through the next little bit. But no tornado spotted on the ground now. We have had some reports of hail moving through here, but otherwise nothing substantial that would indicate, any real bad damage. But once we get into the morning daylight hours, that may change as we go through the next little bit. Now, here as we go into parts of Clay County, this band, again, moving very rapidly, 50-plus miles an hour, getting into parts of Clay County. So let me put this into motion here real quick. It's going to take it away, but I want to kind of see how this is going to track so I can kind of give you an indication of where we can expect this to go. Okay, now you saw on the future track just a second ago, this cell here is going to go right into Manchester. So it's moving a little bit northeast. So you folks in Manchester, take cover right now. Tornado warning in effect for Manchester and for all of Clay County. But you see this storm cell is going to track just toward Manchester, so keep that in mind. Take cover as we speak. Also, if we come down here just a little bit, I'm going to zoom off to the south and show you a couple of more things here. This back into this system is going to come into parts of southern Clay County, and it's going to clip. It's going to clip northern Knox County, I believe. Yes, it's going to clip northern Knox County. So right now, if nothing changes, it looks like you folks in Bell County may dodge this bullet. You are seeing some thunderstorms pop up that could turn maybe into a severe thunderstorm warning. Doubtful at this point, but for now, you see what we're dealing with here as we go through the next little bit and kind of showing you a general direction. Let me zoom in here and show you some of the cities affected. Let me take it back in here and show you some of the cities affected. Sasser, you guys will be getting this right now. Lake, Marydale, Lida, you guys are seeing this right along Kentucky 80. Pigeon Roost, coming your direction the next little bit. Cotton Gym, Tedders, Gibbs, Tuttle, Sproul, Woolham, all those communities That's going to be moving through your area. Kentucky 11, you folks are going to be right in the middle of this too, in parts of Clay County and into Knox County. So kind of keep that in mind. If you're traveling tonight, you know people that are traveling, to keep that in mind. Now, the top part of the system, the northern half, still not doing too bad. I mean, we're seeing some heavier bands of rain, but I still believe that that main system is the one that's going to move through Clay County, much of Clay County in the next few minutes, again, right around the city of Manchester. So keep that in mind as we go out and about tonight. If you live in Manchester, make those preparations, because that's going to come towards you in the next little bit. Let's zoom out here and show you all of eastern Kentucky, show you what's going on here. Right now, we've got that line of showers and storms all the way from Ashland down to almost the Tennessee border. A few storms trying to pop back up as we go through the chances, as we go through the overnight hours, but right now things staying fairly calm in a lot of eastern Kentucky. The big sandy region, not anything showing up on Doppler, but right now we're seeing that continue to be a problem, and the pop-ups at least in parts of Perry County and to Harlan County, right across the border in Lee County, Virginia, maybe even to Wise County to some degree, and into parts of southern Knox and Whitley counties as we go through here. Just a few more showers moving through in there. Actually, let me zoom out here because we may have something else kind of brewing down here in Tennessee. Let me put this into motion here for you and see what's going on. You literally watch it over the last 3 hours where it's popping up. Now, we've seen some more pop-ups. That's not a good sign. We've seen some more pop-ups here around the Chattanooga area. It's got some severe thunderstorm warnings out. This may, let me put this kind of a drawing up here. This may clip us here in eastern Kentucky. So maybe the border counties may see that also over into southwest Virginia to some degree. And then that system moving up from parts of Canada, or not Canada, parts of Tennessee. I'm losing my mind here tonight, folks. So moving up from I saw Chattanooga and thought Canada. Moving it from parts of Tennessee, moving through part of eastern Kentucky possibly later on tonight. So that's one of those things we'll have to kind of keep in mind there as we go through. But right now, the main area of concern, let me get back in here to Clay County. And the good news is it looks like we're dying off a little bit on this storm cell back toward to the northeast of Corbin, clipping parts of northwestern Knox County, coming through parts of eastern Laurel County, and approaching the city of Manchester. A pretty decent little cell approaching Manchester. So you folks there need to take cover. Tornado warning. Oh, here we go. All right. New information just coming in. Now, this is by the emergency manager. Several people reported seeing a funnel cloud near Corbin. So we're just seeing that coming in from a few minutes ago. That was around 12:20. Folks are seeing reports of a funnel cloud near Corbin, but no touchdown. So it definitely sounds like this could be tornadic. And so keep an eye on that. As we go through the next little bit here. Okay. All right. So here's where we are. Urban, Silbert. I think it's how you say that, Silbert. Past Marydale now, Manchester, you guys, Sidell, Fall Rock. That's where the main system is going to move through. And these two purple bands here, that's where came from Corbin, where you would see those chances for that funnel cloud. Again, no tornado touchdowns being reported, but EM officials and Corbin reporting a funnel cloud being spotted by several people. This was around 12:20, so about 14 minutes ago, here at 12:34 on this Saturday night, Sunday morning. So again, that's a possibility. I think we're about to get another update here. So let's see what we've got. Okay. All right, new information. The tornado warning for Whitley has been canceled. So that's good news there. You folks in Whitley County, you're out of the tornado warning now. So that takes some comfort in that. You guys are out of that. And now we have left is Clay, Knox, and Laurel till 12:45. So about 10 more minutes. I'm kind of expecting that to maybe be allowed to expire, because this system is still pretty stout, but it's holding quite a punch in some areas. So right now, let's zoom it out, kind of show you. But Manchester, you folks for sure about to be under the gun, and we'll continue to see that in the next little bit. This cell, folks, we've tracked this all day long, literally from western Tennessee. It's been a fast mover at times and a slow mover at times, but it is continuing to be an issue for us, and now had died down below the severe category for a while, now back up to the possibility for some severe activity, tornadic activity in parts of Clay County now. So you folks in Manchester under the gun. Let's take a look at those safety tips, show you what's going on. Now on that angle, if you need to prepare now, like you are in Manchester, you need to prepare if you're there. Go to a basement or the lowest point of your home, an interior walkway or a room, and stay away from those windows, and make sure you abandon mobile homes. Again, an interior hallway or room, bathrooms are good if they're away from, kind of in the middle of the house, or a closet would work in a pinch, but just above all, make sure that you're not in those mobile homes, folks, because that is the most dangerous place to be in a situation like this. So keep that in mind as we go through the next little bit, and we'll deal with that over the next couple of hours. Hopefully, once we get into the later portions of the night here, this will start to die down a little bit, and things will calm down over the next couple of hours. Because once this last round comes through, and let's go ahead and switch back over to Doppler. Once this last round comes through, we should be in okay shape, because there's really nothing behind it, and the temperatures are too low for any kind of redevelopment, or at least shouldn't be any kind of redevelopment behind this as we go through the overnight period. We'll keep an eye on this. You see, basically, once you get to Somerset, out toward Monticello, there's really nothing behind that. But a lot of those counties, and I expect this will not be the case for very much longer, still under that tornado watch box until 3 a.m. But I basically think that this area here now is the greatest threat of any kind of tornadic activity, and I believe that'll be to start to die off as we go through, because basically the only place that's really still intense enough for that tornado activity is right there through parts of Clay County and Knox County. May actually drift into, I believe that's Lee County, maybe it's Ansley County, as we go through the next little bit. Let me take a gander here and see what this is. That is Ansley County, I believe. Let me zoom in here and show you, or it's moving to the northeast. That might be a possibility. That is Owsley County. So Booneville, seeing some showers and storms starting to move through that area. So kind of keep that in mind as we go through the next couple of minutes, that you guys may be under the gun soon here too. The good news is this system is moving very fast, 50 plus miles an hour. So hopefully we'll continue to get that going. Okay, Jackson and Estill County severe thunderstorm warning, that was allowed to be canceled. That was supposed to go till 1 o'clock, but that was we're letting that be canceled as we go through the next little bit here, and we'll continue to see that be an issue for us as we go through the deal here over the next little bit. Okay, now let's check out some new info. See what's going on here. Zooming out a little bit. All right. The main bulk of this system now moving through Manchester. And then there's a decent little cell through parts of northern Clay County. So up around Amity, I believe how you say it, Wildcat, Laurel Creek, Fall Rock, down into Littleton and Manchester, Hooker, Seibert, all those areas. You're dealing with this band now, and I believe this is going to be the last hurrah for the tornado warning here, folks. I could be wrong, but at this point, it looks like it's dying off quite a bit as we go through the next little bit here. Well, a different view kind of shows a little bit of different thing. So, but it looks like the strongest part of this cell is in southern Clay County and maybe northern Knox County, Cotton Gym along, what is this road? 11, Kentucky 11. So Cotton Gym down toward Woolham, Sproul, and Tedders. You guys are seeing that right now. And then back up Blue Hole, Lincoln. You'll see that in the next little bit. Over toward Goose Rock as we continue to move. And just south of the city of Manchester. But there also is a decent little cell moving through Manchester as well. Seibert, Garrard. You guys are going to see that as well as we go through the next little bit. Okay, getting lots of nice little reports on Twitter here, so we appreciate all those. Keep those coming in to us. Sure, we've got a few on Facebook too, but kind of sticking with Twitter at this point for now. But the good thing is, at this point, right now at 12:40, we've not heard any reports of major damage, which is good. So it's always more difficult to deal with things like this at night because it's harder for you to see it. I guess the old saying, you can't fight what you can't see, but it's one of those things. It's harder to see a tornado at night, and you may not know it's on top of you till it's too late. So that's why we try to warn you as much in advance as we can, just using Doppler radar estimates and spotty reports from you folks. So we appreciate all the reports we're getting tonight on Twitter and Facebook, and keep those coming, especially if you got any damage reports, because the only thing we've really heard so far is reports of hail and the emergency manager in Corbin reporting a funnel cloud being reported to them. So that's one of those things we'll have to wait and get confirmed, but no touchdowns at this point or no reports of any major damage. So that's good news as we go through here. And it looks like all these storms are starting to weaken as we go through here. I just got a question about Letcher County. I believe we'll be broken up by that point. You see a lot of southeastern Kentucky, a few little showers and storms left, but nothing major. All the major stuff is off to your northwest, especially from Harlan and Letcher counties over into Perry County. But this system here may clip us here in Hazard if it continues. Let me put this into motion here once more and see. As we watch this, this cell has been a little tricky to forecast because it's been shifting on us here and there. Yep, it looks like it may be the case. So, folks in Hyden and Hazard, kind of be on the lookout for this cell right here, because this one could be a doozy coming through here in the next little bit. Looks like it may track on off to that east, which would put it right here in this kind of that category there as we go through the next little bit. So kind of keep that in mind as we go through the overnight hours here, that cell could be a problem for you folks. But you zoom out, really, there's not much of this system left. I mean, it's a pretty good little line still coming down from Ashland, but you get out behind it, all dry in western Kentucky, a few little showers out toward Paducah. So once we get through this line here, and I'll zoom in a little more to kind of show you what's going on across the southeast real quick on the loop. After we get through this bunch, I think we'll be okay, because everything tracking through East Tennessee is going to go into parts of Virginia and North Carolina. So once we get past this little batch, we should be okay to go through the rest of the evening and the overnight hours. So kind of keep that in mind as we go through. Okay, taking you back here at home, we're seeing, okay, here's our first report of damage. We've got reports of a house collapse on Level Green Road in Keavy in Laurel County. So we saw that cell come through there real good real good earlier to see. We saw that heavier. I'll get here in a second, folks. We saw that come through there earlier with all that heavy wind and rain, and hopefully that was one of the major reports of damage we get, because I hadn't heard any reports of injuries yet, but that's the first report we've heard of any kind of damage, was that house collapsing on Level Green Road in Keavy in Laurel County, and the cell has moved out of Laurel County, moving very fast, moving very quickly as we go through the overnight hours here, and this tornado warning supposed to expire here in about a minute now. So we're going to see exactly how we want to play this. I think if the National Weather Service folks probably keep it in for a little while longer, because that cell in parts of central Clay County still looks pretty stout. It really all depends on what we're going to see here in the next little bit, because it's still packing a little bit of a wallop. Let me zoom back in here on Clay County. Now, parts of northern Clay County, right along Kentucky 11, a good cell moving through there as well. Could approach the Buckhorn community over here in Perry County, and then back toward Manchester, and east and south of that is kind of where the main bulk of this major cell is still coming through. So that would come toward Hyden and maybe eventually Hazard. So that's one of those things we'll have to watch over the next few minutes. But I would say Leslie County may be under this tornado warning, and literally, as I said that, Leslie County and Perry County now under a tornado warning. So let's recap what we've got here right now. Okay, Clay, Knott, Leslie, and Perry under the tornado warning until 1:30 in the morning. Clay, Knott, Leslie, and Perry under a tornado warning until 1:30 in the morning. So let me get that in here real quick on Twitter. trying to keep everybody updated by multiple means, because sometimes you may not have your TV handy, and we'd like to keep you updated by multiple means. So let's get that in here for you. And tornado. Okay, so, but again, to recap, you're just joining us, it is 12:45. The tornado warning for, let's see, what other counties? For, I guess for Knox and Laurel has been allowed to expire. That system now moving through parts of the area. So we do have a tornado warning for Clay, Knott, Leslie, and Perry counties until 1:30 this morning. We'll be continuing to track this storm throughout the night. We are not leaving you folks. We're trying to keep you updated as we can here. So this system packing quite a wallop. And you see, I'll put a track kind of on this for you. This cell right here is the major, let me draw that a little bit better. This cell here is the major system we're tracking, and that's kind of pushing in this direction. So the folks over at the National Weather Service are already going ahead and putting Knott County in that. So basically Hyman, Hazard, and Hyden will be affected by this storm as we go through the next few hours. We'll be dealing with that now for a little bit longer. The good news is this cell has shrunk significantly compared to where it was when we were back in McCreary County. But we've had reports of a funnel cloud from this cell. We've had reports of hail, and now reports of damage coming out of Laurel County from the Kiwi community out of the cell. So that's just one of those things that we're going to have to continue to track very closely as we go through the next little bit. Okay, let's put those tips up real quick, Kev, since we got these new warnings for these new counties. We'll show these folks kind of what we're dealing with over the next little bit. If you're dealing with this tornado situation for you folks in Perry and Clay and Knott and Leslie counties, go to a basement or the lowest point of your home. You need to seek shelter right now. Even though this system may be like, oh, well, it's in Manchester, it's not going to get to us for a little bit. Wrong. This cell is a very fast-moving storm, 50 miles an hour plus at times. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on this because it's going to be there before you know it. It's going to come quickly. So if you're in a house, go to a basement, the lowest point of your home. Crawl spaces will work. Interior hallway or room, bathrooms are great if they're away from the outer sections of the house. And then we'll see that stay away from windows. And abandoned mobile homes, folks, I cannot stress enough, a mobile home is definitely not the place to be during a situation like this because it's dangerous and can be deadly, especially if you get those damaging winds, can turn it over. It could do a lot of things to it, so just please take shelter somewhere else. Go to a friend's house now, especially if you're in Perry or Knott counties and Hyden, Leslie County, because you have time. You don't have a lot of time, but you've got time. So make those arrangements to be other places as we go through the next little bit here, and just kind of keep that in mind. And if you get into a bathroom, remember to, or a closet, take cover and put pillows, blankets over your head to kind of minimize your danger of being struck by some of that debris. Let's go back to Doppler and show you what's going on here on Live Pinpoint Doppler Radar. The latest, we're seeing just a little bit of change here as we go through the next few minutes. All right, let's see what we've got here. I'm going to zoom in on the Manchester cell and kind of show you what's going on here now. Okay. The tornado warning, a new update here, is just for eastern Clay County. Now, the central portion of that been allowed to expire since it's moved into the eastern section. So Plank, Peabody, and Erline in eastern Clay County, you guys are under the gun. Anybody along US 421 going toward Hyden, and then as you get over into Hyden, into Leslie rather, 1,000 Sticks, Hyden, Wendover, Stinnett, you guys will be under the gun here in the next few minutes as this system continues to track to the east. Also, let me get in here a little closer and show you some of these areas. Jason, Big Creek, Markham, all those areas along there under the gun in the next few minutes. Some of the roads you've got, let's see if we can find some of these bigger roads here. Cane Fork Road right there. And then back up this way, we've got Jason Piney Grove Road. And over here all the way toward 118, that goes through Hyden. So just kind of keep that in mind, you folks, especially in Leslie County. Perry and Knott counties as well. We'll be dealing with that over the next little bit too. But not, you got a few more minutes, but in Leslie County right now, and all those counties, you need to be taking shelter, but immediately right now in Leslie County, because that's going to cross the border before you know it and be over there causing problems for you guys, and then it'll be here in Perry County before we know it, and then in Knott County, so keep an eye on that. Also, a couple of areas to look at on up here a little bit in two parts of Breathitt County. We'll be seeing a decent little storm move through there as we go through the next little bit, and to deal with that as well. And we'll zoom out here, kind of show you a wide view of what's going on all over Eastern Kentucky. Let me get a drink of water here real quick. Those showers and storms continue to be a problem all the way up from Ashland down to Middlesboro, but as you get out into southern Kentucky, not as potent, not as much in the way of coverage anymore. We're still going to push some of those through here in the overnight period, but not nearly as bad as it was earlier. Okay, what's this here? New update. Doppler radar indicating a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. Dangerous storm is located near House, 5 miles south of Manchester. Moving east, it's picked up some speed at 60 miles an hour. So again, that's why I'm stressing you need to be prepared right now. Right now, if you're in Leslie County, Perry County, Knott County, because this thing is picking up speed. It was at 40 miles an hour earlier, and then it was at now it's at 60 miles an hour, so it's moving very, very quickly. So make sure that, let's see, got a report now out of Laurel County, Lilly in Laurel County. They saw some hail down that way as well on Twitter. So that's one of those things we'll be getting those reports from as we go through the overnight and the morning hours. And let's see here, another report from a friend of mine out of Bell County said that her sister and her family, Corbin, had to get down in the hallway, to duck and cover in the hallway. So the hail was huge, and reports of funnel clouds there. We heard those reports of those funnel clouds, and we're seeing those reports come in now, kind of hot and heavy, but we're seeing this again. Let me recap here for you if you're just joining us. Tornado warning for eastern Clay County, Leslie County, Perry County, and Knott County until 1:30 in the morning. So we'll be here with you. That's about 40 minutes away. We'll keep an eye on this system and kind of keep tracking it and keep those reports coming in, getting on a lot more reports on Twitter here, and we appreciate that. And keep those coming, and we'll appreciate those, and kind of helps maybe my eyes and ears as we go through, because you know, it helps me get that feedback that we need to get the information out to you folks as we go through this severe weather process. Okay, let me check my data here, make sure nothing new. Okay, we've got also, had mentioned this a little while, but we have the severe thunderstorm warning until 1, which is in about 8 minutes or so, for Breathitt, Clay, Lee, Morgan, Owsley, and Perry and Wolfe counties. Perry now switched over to a tornado warning, but Wolfe, Owsley, Morgan, Lee, Clay, and Breathitt counties until 1 a.m., which is about 7 minutes away. That's a severe thunderstorm warning. All right, now we're dealing with chances for more severe weather as we go through the next little bit, and several counties is dealing with that in two parts of Leslie and eastern Clay County. Perry and Knott County will be seeing that a little bit later on, so keep that in mind as we go through the next little bit. Let's zoom in here on kind of the affected area. Now also, don't want to downplay the fact that there's severe thunderstorms in other locations, so keep that into mind as we go through the next little bit. Then we can see that coming through Manchester, right through there, kind of following along 421. Hyden, Stinnett going to be affected, Hazard, Buckhorn maybe. And again, Knott County's under this too, so don't forget that Hindman over that direction, you guys are in this path too. Maybe a few more minutes before it gets to you, but now is the time to making your emergency preparations to find shelter wherever you may be, either in a house or a mobile home. So we're looking at this continuing to push to the kind of the east, northeast and away. But let me come back into Leslie County here, show you some more of these communities again that will be affected by this. Basically, anybody along 421, as you go from Clay County into Leslie County, coming through Big Creek right now, Peabody, Erline, those are the counties that are being affected right now. Jason, you guys are in the path. Thousand Sticks, Size Rock, and then back down toward Markham. Take cover. Right now, this is a very dangerous storm cell. We've had reports of funnel clouds and hail, and even a house being damaged from this system, so kind of keep that in mind in the next little bit. And so there's several cities that are going to be affected. Hyden, Hazard, Hindman, you guys are in the path of this cell. The good news, at least at this point, no reports of tornado on the ground. Just tornado indicated on Doppler, and then some folks in Corbin spotted a funnel cloud. This is the same system, though, that moved through there and made life difficult for those folks a little earlier. So that's something we're dealing with here as we go through the next little bit. And we're going to see that. I'm going to, Kev, if you don't care, mute my mic. I'm going to change my battery real quick so we can do an update here at the top of the hour. Let me know when you got that ready. Okay. Okay, I'm back with you here, folks. Had to get a fresh battery. We're getting a little bit low on our other one for our microphone, and didn't want to lose you. Wanted to stay with you through all this and make sure that we're up to date and here with you as long as the system lasts, and it's going to be a little while longer, it looks like. So if you're with us, good morning to you, because it's almost 1 o'clock, and things are still firing up in parts of Clay County and Leslie County. And hopefully, we can get this out of here in the next little bit. Out behind us, we're in good shape as we get behind it, this system here, into parts of southern Kentucky. But for now, we're still dealing with some of this rain moving through. But the good news is, once we get this last system out of here, look at that, out toward the western Kentucky, it's clear skies. Now we're just going to deal with a couple more deals here in eastern Kentucky. Now, you see this line of showers and storms kind of picked up pretty rapidly all over the place, because when we were tracking these earlier, a lot of eastern Kentucky didn't have anything. It was just a little bit of showers popping up here and there. So some showers and storms popping up as we go through the overnight period, and then we're going to see that continue. Do I think that this system will make it into the Big Sandy? Yes. Do I think it'll make it into the Big Sandy as a tornado warning? Probably not. We were looking at this cell just a few minutes ago, and you watched the progression over the last few minutes of things kind of continuing to weaken, and that's the way it looks like it's going to be as we go through the next couple of hours. So continue to watch that here, and we'll continue to update you. But I don't believe now Floyd County maybe, but Pike County, I seriously doubt that. I think once it gets to Knott County, it'll have lost most of its potency. Maybe a severe thunderstorm warning, but for now, we're keeping an eye on this. And this, again, if you're just joining us, eastern Clay County, Leslie County. Okay. All right, just an update there. Eastern Clay County, Leslie County, Perry County, and Knott County. You all are under a tornado warning until 1:30 this morning. Right? Yes, 1:30 this morning. I got so many numbers rattling around in here right now, folks. It's I got these severe thunderstorm warnings also going on for a couple more minutes, about 2 more minutes for Breathitt, Clay, Lee, Morgan, Owsley, and Wolfe counties until 1 o'clock this morning, and then those will probably be allowed to expire, at least some of them, because some of these systems are starting to die out a little bit more. And, as bad as this is tonight, we're lucky, because it could be a lot worse. We could be dealing with what those folks in Mississippi had to deal with today, and it's a good thing that we're not, because we've had our fair share of weather this year. So hopefully, we're into that season now, though. This is the springtime, and you know as well as I do, being a native Eastern Kentuckian, that we have to deal with severe weather. It's kind of a way of life, but we just take it one system at a time, and hopefully we can continue to get through here and keep things fairly balanced. So right now, here's the main bulk of the system continuing to die out, folks. It's into Leslie County now, but I kind of expect it may make it to Perry. If it makes it to Knott, I'll be real surprised. Big Creek, seeing that now moving through there. Thousand Sticks is coming up on you, so make sure that you folks take cover. Make sure that you're in a stable location. Let me switch views here just to see if there's a difference. I don't believe there will be. Now, the system appeared close to Breathitt County, looking a little stronger on one view than it is on the other, but I don't believe much more of that. Now there's a scene, actually, let me zoom back in here. New update, a little bit of redevelopment, but not a whole lot. The rotation is really down on this system here. So, but I mean, there is still a possibility that there is some chances for that to move through. The good news is, once we get this system out of here, we should be okay as we deal with this for the next little bit. Sorry, folks, my throat getting a little dry there. As we go through the next little bit here, we should see this continue to push to the east through parts of Hyden, Thousand Sticks. Thousand Sticks, you're right under the gun now, and Calliope, I believe is how you say that. You guys are under the gun now, so you need to take shelter, take cover, be ready, because this severe thunderstorm, tornado warning cell is getting ready to move to your area. And then Avalon, Wooten, Thousand Sticks, you guys are going to be seeing that. Hyden, and then we go up toward Hazard, and I think that'll go all the way basically once this system goes through. Glomar, Viper, you guys will be affected by that as well, up toward Tribby and Yerkes. Confluence probably the head end of it, but as you go up to the north a little bit, it's still a decent little sail. Buckhorn seeing some heavier bands of rain now. Gaze Creek, about to see that as we go through all the way up into Breathitt County. You see this decent little sail from Talbot to Wolf Cole, and then back into Quicksand here pretty soon, Lost Creek and Watts, and then maybe into Jackson as we get closer and closer to this cell, getting a little closer to parts of Breathitt County. But the main thing we're watching at this point is down here and getting a little bit closer to the 1 o'clock hour. Actually, I think we're at 1:01. We're across the 1 o'clock hour now, but this cell still get a little bit of a punch to it. And I think I just heard the rain pick up a little bit here in Perry County outside the studios here in Hazard. I did. And, hey, Kev, can you all check that? It almost sounds like hail on the roof. Okay, I got my folks checking the master here, Kevin C. Hill, working with us tonight, and Trevor. See if that's, it sounds like a little bit of hail beating on the roof, but it might just be some heavy rain. So we're checking on that here at the station and seeing what we've got there. If any of you folks on Twitter are watching out there here in Hazard, let us know if you're seeing anything in your area too. But keep an eye on that. So that's not even the sail we're watching. That's another little sail coming through a Glomar and Viper now. Oh, good. Let's switch to that here. We've got our security camera up here outside the studios here in the Hazard. Let me get close to the monitor here so I can see it and walk you through it. You see the heavy rain coming down here in Hazard. I don't believe that's hail at this point, but it sounded like it just a minute ago coming down here. But you see that rain coming down real good. And that's actually not even from the system that we're tracking with the tornado warning. That's from another system that kind of developed as we went through the next little bit. And I want to show you there's a threshold. Once you get below, it's usually the low to mid 60s, depending on how much instability there already is in the atmosphere. But let me show you the temperatures around the region. We'll kind of get a judge of, see, we're pretty close right now. So I believe we're going to be just rain, no hail. I just got the word from Master Control, and I appreciate those folks in there for sticking it out with us tonight. It's been real helpful. But we're just seeing some low temperatures now. So once we get down to the 60-degree mark, that's why I think this system is kind of dying off. We should be okay, because once you get that low, there's really not enough fuel, enough humidity, and enough instability to kind of fire these off. So we should be in okay shape here in the next few minutes. But we're still dealing with this tornado warning for now. It's mostly out of Clay County. I'm expecting Clay County to be completely canceled here in a minute, into Leslie County now, and moving toward Perry County, the leading edge into parts of western Perry County as we speak. We'll be moving toward the city of Hazard here in a few minutes, so things will probably pick up here at the studio as we go through the next little bit. Let's zoom in here and kind of show you where we're at. I believe we should be right over 1,000 Sticks right now, getting close to it. Calliope, seeing that. Confluence, getting close to that. Now, it may... I don't know. Let me zoom out here and put this in motion the last little bit, kind of get an idea of where we're going to head exactly. I believe the system is still tracking off to the east, but let me see what we're doing here, kind of give you an idea where it may go next. Okay, so I believe Hazard may be close. Now, Hindman, you guys, if this holds together, this may actually skirt Hazard to the north of it, so we're kind of keep an eye on that. But Hindman, you guys may see this as we go through the next little bit, so we'll be dealing with that as we go through the next couple of hours, kind of keep an eye on that. But I believe we're going to die off for too long. Now, let me zoom out. Well, we've got just a minute here while the system is still tracking through, and kind of show you the whole area to kind of give, I know some of you folks are wondering, what about my area, what about my area? Let's start up here close to the Mountain Parkway. We'll zoom it in here to Wolf County and Morgan County. A few little heavier bands of showers and storms still rolling through those areas. West Liberty, McGoffin County, Salyersville, back toward Paintsville. Might see a few little heavier bands of rain and a little bit, but you guys are out of it for the most part. I mean, the severe stuff. Now, I don't think any of this will be any redevelopments. What you see now is for what you'll get. Let's take you on down a little bit into Wolfe County, Breathitt County. Breathitt County is still a decent little storm there. A severe thunderstorm warning out for that. Let me see if that's been allowed to expire. Severe thunderstorm warning for, okay, I believe that was allowed to expire. Yep, all that was allowed to expire at 1 a.m. So basically all we have now is the tornado warnings. But still a decent little cell moving through parts of Breathitt County, northern Perry County, and Owsley County, Lee County, Jackson County. Now, you get back out to the west, look at out toward Mount Vernon, Somerset. You guys are pretty much clear. Corbin, London, not too bad, down to Williamsburg. There are a few little storms, heavier bands of rain more than anything, trying to push across the border. And I hear the rain coming down now, but here outside the station, but trying to push across the border into Bell County and maybe even into Harlan County a little bit. But you guys are well below the severe threshold. You should be okay. Now this cell here that may clip northern parts of Harlan County looks a little decent, but I still believe it's below the severe threshold. And then you get up into Letcher County, Pike County, where it should be in okay shape, unless this system continues to move to the northeast, but I don't believe it's going to have the energy to keep pushing that way, so we should be okay. And it's coming down real good here. Okay, let's show that security cam one more time since it's coming down here again, here in Hazard. And it sounds pretty good, at least anyway. Maybe, oh yeah, look at that. You see it coming down real good now outside of our Hazard studios here at WYMT, and moving through here. And that's actually, again, that's not the cell we were talking about, the tornado warning cell. That's actually another little cell coming in from the south that's pushing some of that moisture up in here as well. And it's a pretty good little shower, little thunderstorm. Haven't seen any lightning from this one yet here. We'll stay with the camera here for just a second. I don't want to stay away from Doppler for too long. But see if there's any lightning with this cell. Maybe just some heavier bands of rain with this one. At least no bright lightning that we would see on our camera here. So haven't heard any thunder just yet. But when that cell comes through, let's switch back to Doppler, Kev. When that cell comes through here in the next little bit, we'll see that start to pick up and coming through it shall, because we're getting out of Leslie County now, and actually right here, let me get zoomed in just far enough. Here's Hazard, and it looks like the cell may actually skirt us and hit to the north. Now the back end, this here toward the Calliope, back toward Thousand Sticks, may come right through here. So it really all depends on how this tracks, but it's moving so rapidly. Folks, we'll be done with this here in a few minutes, because it's literally, in the 20 minutes we've been talking, it's already moved all the way completely through Leslie County, almost. So it's tracking into northern Perry County now. A few little more showers and storms trying to pop up. You see some scattered bands here across parts of, and that's not even switching views, I don't even show you very much. Scattered bands across parts of the area. Let me switch that one more time and see something there. Okay. So yeah, it's really losing a lot of its potency as we go through, and now hearing reports of some rumbles of thunder down in Bell County. And of course, we talked about that just a second ago. Not much of a presence down there, but we appreciate all those folks for getting us those Twitter comments, those Facebook comments into us tonight here at the station. And you guys are our eyes and ears. I mean, we do what we can here at the station, and we check Doppler, and we all the science and all that behind it. But when it comes down to pictures and eyewitness accounts, we depend on you folks, and we appreciate you all. Some of y'all have been calling in reports. We appreciate that as well. You are our eyes and ears, and we can't thank you enough for that. And if you're still with us tonight, it's 1:08, and we've got a tornado warning in effect for several counties now. Let's see what we have here now. Okay. All right. Sounds good. So I got two things to pass along to you. We've got some lightning reports coming out of Bell County, hearing the fact that it's pretty bright down there. I think the report said that it was so bright it looked like daylight because it was light in the sky, so heavy. And Mayor Bill Gorman called us here in Hazard and said wanted to thank us for our coverage, and said he'd make me a Duke of Hazard. Mayor, I'm already a Duke of Hazard, but you can do it again. I'll let you. It's all right. But anyway, we're tracking these storms here, and they're looking pretty good. We're going to hopefully miss Hazard of this cell, but it's dying off so quickly, folks. I don't believe, even if it does make it through here, to be heavy rain. Let's see here. We've got tornado warning still in effect until 1:30 for northern Leslie, northern Perry, and Knott County. So it looks like the bulk of this system will skirt. I mean, it's going to be close. Hazard, and maybe even Hindman. So that's the way it looks like it's going to be for now. And then we'll keep an eye on this over the next few minutes. It's moving so rapidly, folks. The last check, okay, we're now northeast at 50 miles an hour, so that's turning a little bit. That'll help. If we were going straight east, Hazard might get clipped. We might be okay with that now, and Hyman as well. It also moved to the north of Hyden, so that's one of those things we're watching here very closely, kind of keeping an eye on things. Okay, got a report heavy wind and rain out of Cumberland, Harlan County, my native stomping grounds. Basically taking on a quick tour down here into the border counties. Not much. You're seeing a couple little showers and thunderstorms there around the Cumberland area, but that should start to dissipate over the next little bit as it's moving. Let's put a little loop on this, see what we got here. Basically, we'll continue to push that off to the northeast as we go through the next little bit. And right now, dying out rather quickly. So Philip King over there, send that out to us, and that's what we've got at this point. Now, these showers here in Bell County may move that direction. I believe they're all on a northeasterly track, but even down here, nothing too severe. So you may see a few showers and some lightning and scattered thunder, but nothing too bad. All right, back up here to our main system. We're still dying off rather rapidly, folks. I would not be surprised if the tornado warning was canceled or just allowed to expire here in about, let's see, about 29 minutes, 1:11 here on this Sunday morning. And unfortunately, we're tracking severe weather across eastern Kentucky. I wish we were together for a better reason. But if you're staying up late with us, I'm glad that you are up with us, because hopefully we're keeping you informed and keeping you safe, because that's what we're here to do at WYMT. Okay, let's zoom it out, show you eastern Kentucky real quick while we're waiting on the new data to come in here. Quite a few showers and storms still left across all of the region, and we continue to see those showers and storms through parts of northeastern Kentucky, back along the Mountain Parkway, up toward Campton, and even back toward London and Somerset to some degree. But folks, you see what I do. It's not very much in the way of intensity anymore. A few heavier bands of showers and storms here and there, but nothing in the way that we would expect out of a severe weather outbreak this bad. Jim and I talked about it this week, and it looks like we're going to be okay. Compared to what it looked like earlier in the week. It looks like those poor souls in the deep south got a lot worse than we did. Some reports, let me double check that real quick before I say this. Earlier reports of 10 people, yes, and that's still 10 people killed in Yazoo City, or actually just in Mississippi, from those tornadoes. And one of those tornadoes I heard was on the ground for more than 45 minutes, so that's pretty stout, and we were lucky to miss that as we go through this period here on this weekend. And, I'll never understand the attraction between severe weather and weekends. Seems like it happens all the time, and on the weekends here. But, well, hey, Murphy's Law. If it can't happen, it will happen. But we're seeing that continue to move through here. Let's see what we've got. Okay. Still got the tornado warning in effect. Let me see that they may have canceled some of that. Let's see. Nope, still in effect for Knott, Leslie, and Perry counties until 1:30 in the morning. At 1:04, Doppler radar indicated a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado, also producing winds up to 70 miles an hour. So I think some of that threshold has dropped out on this one, but something we're still going to deal with over the next about 15, 16 minutes or so is that chance for that severe weather. Actually, moving through Perry County now, let me zoom in here on some of the communities that we're seeing being affected by this. Folks, if you're traveling toward Breathitt County on Highway 15, might want to take a little break, pull over and find some shelter, because it's coming through there very soon. Nat4, Yerkes, Typo, Harveyton, Manual, Dice, all those areas. Parts of southern Breathitt County may even get a little bit of this, but coming through parts of northern Perry County, Dwarf. The tail end may clip parts of the area here. Walkertown, maybe North Hazard, but that's on the back side of this. And again, I'm very surprised that it's still a tornado warning, because we're losing some of the intensity. Now, there is still a little bit of rotation showing up on Doppler, but not enough to kind of be overly concerned. But again, you don't want to be, you want to be vigilant when it comes to something like this. You don't want to take away, the seriousness of the situation. That's what I'm trying to say here, because you never know. We take these warnings down, and then, the next 10 minutes there could be a tornado on the ground. But so far out of this system here, we've had a funnel cloud spotting in Corbin, nothing on the ground, and no official spotting, at least that I know of. Just an emergency management director called in that he had seen, or he had reports of several people telling him funnel cloud. Got some reports on Twitter as well. And then a house damaged in Keavy, that was in Laurel County, and some moderate hail in some of the parts of the area. So that's one of those things we're kind of watching here as we go through this overnight period. Okay, let's get you up to date here. If you're just joining us, good morning to you. It is 1:15. We do have a tornado warning in effect for parts of Leslie, Perry, and Knott counties. Basically, it may skirt the city of Hazard and possibly the city of Hindman. It really all depends. But you see here in parts of Knott and Perry counties, we still have some showers and even a couple of storms moving through now. That rain has stopped here outside the studios, at least the heavy rain. I was hearing that a few minutes ago, but we're seeing this. Maybe another storm moving through here in the next little bit, because there's some rain on the backside of this for now. But again, that tornado warning, and that's all the active warnings that we still have in effect. All the severe thunderstorm warnings have moved, but for right now, parts of Leslie, Perry, and Knott counties under a tornado warning for about 15 more minutes until 1:30, and I believe at that point we'll be allowed to expire, because it looks like this system is losing some of its potency as we go through the overnight period here. It doesn't look too nearly as bad as it was before. So while we're watching that and waiting on the new track, we'll take you out and kind of show you once again some of the areas still experiencing some of those heavier bands of thunderstorms. Let's start up here near Ashland. That's basically where it starts. It's all the way from Ashland down, and we're seeing parts of that's Lawrence County, have some pretty good little showers and thunderstorms here, and then back toward West Liberty, Morgan County, McGoffin County, Syersville, Royalton, over that direction, Breathitt County, and then back over toward Wolfe County, down into Lee County, some thunderstorms, nothing severe. Owsley County, not much to report there. A few little showers and storms in Jackson County, then back over toward Rockcastle County, just basically some scattered rain. A couple little thunderstorms left in parts of Laurel and Rockcastle County, or Laurel and Pulaski counties rather, but most of that rain's already cleared. And then as you go across the lower part of the area, a few little scattered heavier bands of showers and storms across eastern and southeastern Kentucky into Harlan, Bell, and Letcher counties, and then even up into the Big Sandy a little bit. But right here is the main system we're watching, tracking just to the north of Hazard. I believe the city of Hazard is out of the woods when it comes to that main cell. But communities of Dice and Clemens, Aryan, Dwarf, and Tribby, that's going to be moving towards you as it gets ready to cross into Knott County in the next few minutes. So we'll be dealing with that as we go later into this 1 o'clock hour. Let's check out the safety tips real quick on the other computer. Basically, if you get caught in the path of the system, remember, go to a basement or a lowest point of your home. Interior hallway or room works best. Stay away from windows and abandon those mobile homes. We cannot stress how dangerous it is to be in a mobile home during a tornado, folks. They're just not secured and fortified enough to be in an event where winds could be up to 70 miles an hour. So make sure if you live in a mobile home that you find alternate shelter, a house or a friend's house or something like that. If you have a home, make sure you get to the lowest level of that home and that you cover yourself, blankets or pillows. Make sure that take those preparations, those precautions as we go through this period of severe weather. Let's go back over to Doppler, show you what's going on. Still tracking that pretty decent little cell as it comes through parts of Perry County and into getting close to Knott County. But at this point, I believe they may allow the tornado warning to expire because there's just not much left in this cell as we go through the next little bit. And I'm hearing some more reports out of the deep south, weather channels on Twitter, saying that there's maybe some concern from a system that moved through Albertville, Alabama, and I hope there is no more loss of life because these storms, at least batch of storms here across the deep south have already killed 10 people in Mississippi, and maybe others and more there. So I'm hoping that's not the case in there. And always this time of year with springtime and severe weather, you just have to be ready for anything, folks, especially as we get through this area. You know as well as I do, from Eastern Kentucky, you have to deal with this every year. So it's just one of those things that we'll continue to look at and continue to deal with as we go through the next little bit. It's 1:20. We got about 10 minutes left on this tornado warning, and we'll see how that takes us as we go through the next little bit here, and how if that's going to be allowed to continue, if that'll be allowed to expire. But the city of Hazard is clear. It looks like the storms are going to bypass that, at least the main part. And really, folks, I believe this will be allowed to expire maybe even before 1:30, because this system has really died out quite a bit in the last few minutes, and it's lost a lot of its potency on either view you look at it. So I believe we'll be okay, and I believe even with the reports we're getting of the funnel cloud in Corbin and the damage in Keevee and some hail, I believe we really dodged a bullet this time, because some of the data that Jim and I were seeing earlier this week, it really could have been a lot worse. So at this point, I think we're okay, and we're going to make it through this one, and just have to get ready for the next one, because it's almost May, and April showers bring May flowers. So there you go. And the heavy rain has started here again at our Hazard Studios. I can hear it on the roof. Let me take you back down. I believe that's either the tail end of this system. It is the tail end of this system. So we're seeing that continue to be the case as we go through the next little bit here. Okay, so Hazard, Walkertown, Avawam, Glomar here next few minutes, Tribby. You guys are seeing the tail end of this system, so nothing major there, and we should be allowed to move through here. Okay, the tornado warning for Leslie has been allowed to expire, and now it's just Perry and Knott until 1:30. The system moving northeast near Hazard, which we see right here on Doppler, at 50 miles an hour, so moving pretty quickly. And again, the main bulk of this system skirting Hazard. Don't believe there's very much rotation left. Wind gusts out of the system at 60 miles an hour, so that's going to be moving toward Knott County. So if you live in the communities of Tina or Vest, Hindman, Brinkley, Liebern, make sure that you're taking shelter now, because this is a potentially dangerous situation. But I do believe we will see this be allowed to expire here in the next few minutes, because I just don't think there is very much left as we go through here. Okay, some new data maybe? No, same data. Okay. But so it's about 8 minutes left on this tornado warning for parts of Perry and Knott counties, rather Perry and Knott counties. So we'll see if we can deal with that here and get this out of the way. So hopefully you folks can get some sleep, and we can get you in the bed, because it's getting late on us, and we don't need any more of these storms. We need to get you folks rested for church in the morning, and we need to get rid of all these pesky storms, because I don't like dealing with them, and neither do you. So at this point, I think we're going to be okay, though. We should be all right over the next few minutes. And we're going to stay with this, though. Don't want to leave you just yet, because you never know what may happen. It may hit a pocket of warm air or something and redevelop, or may get some rotation back. But so we don't want to leave you just yet. So we're going to wait this one out and see what happens. Around 476 and 15, back toward Highway 80. That's areas that you need to be watching if you're out and about, or folks living along there. That's kind of the danger zone as we go through the next little bit. We'll see those continue to move to the northeast, moving rather quickly, about 50 miles an hour. And it's coming down pretty good here in Hazard. And like I said, that's actually on the back side of this system, so probably just some heavy rain, maybe a little bit of wind out of that, so it shouldn't be anything too bad as we go through the next little bit. So we'll continue to deal with that over the next few minutes, and see how that goes. So it's just one of those things that we've been keeping an eye on that, and we'll go from there. And there you go. So all right, let's zoom you out, show you what's going on across Eastern Kentucky. here at this hour as we continue to monitor this potentially developing situation here in parts of Perry and Knott counties. You see scattered showers and storms basically all over the region, but no severe thunderstorm warnings at this point. They've all been allowed to expire, and then this tornado warning I think will be allowed to expire here at 1:30, so it shouldn't be too bad for the rest of the night. These will start to continue to move through. You may see a few gusty winds at times and maybe even some hail from some of these systems, but it shouldn't be too bad as we get through the rest of the night, because there's just not enough energy to continue to press these through, or to continue to make these stronger storms. Once they go to the east, they'll start to fade out and it'll just be all rain, and at that point we should be okay. There may be a few lingering showers into parts of the morning hours tomorrow, but the shower shouldn't be anything too bad in the way of storms or anything like that, so we're doing okay. Just got a report out of Harlan County of heavy rain, thunder and lightning, and a little bit of wind in Wallens Creek, so appreciate that from Kim over there, and keep those reports coming, because you guys, like I said, you're my eyes and ears, so appreciate all you folks that's been helping us out tonight, whether phone calls or Twitter or Facebook. We've been very glad to have you, and hopefully we'll get you in bed and get you out of the system for too long, because I think we're going to be allowed to fizzle out here in the next little bit, because right here is the main system that we're watching, and you can see it doesn't look much different now than any of the other systems that move through over other parts of eastern Kentucky. I believe we've lost our potency on this one, and I believe we'll be allowed to expire as we go into the last 4 minutes of this warning here, 126 expiring at 1:30. So we'll keep an eye out for a few more minutes, make sure nothing happens here. We're not leaving you just yet. We're always wanting to keep you right up to date, keep you posted on what's going on here, because, you know, what we're here for, folks. We're here to keep you safe, and that's what we've been doing tonight, and hopefully we didn't preempt too much of your favorite programming, and we'll go from there if we did. But I think this is a situation that warranted definitely the coverage, because, like we said, we saw those funnel clouds reported over in Corbin, and then we saw those damage reports coming into Laurel County, which once daylight hits tomorrow, there may be more, but at least at this point, that's all we've seen is the damage report out of Keevee. And then we'll see those chances for rain start to taper off as we go through the overnight hours and continue to see this dissipate. And then we'll get ready for our next round in a couple of days. Haven't even really looked at that at this point, but some chances for rain probably linger as we get into next week. Another couple systems go by. Looks like at this point, maybe a few chances for showers on Monday, and then chances for showers maybe on Tuesday and Wednesday as well. But as long as it's just regular rain, we'll take that, because like we talked about earlier, we need the rain. We've had a lot of forest fire activity. And all right, good news. At 1:27, the tornado warning has been allowed to expire for Perry and Knott counties. So all the counties now out of the warning pattern here for eastern Kentucky. No severe thunderstorm warnings and no tornado warnings. So the rest of the night should be fairly uneventful. We'll see a few scattered showers and storms start to drift through, but we're okay now. The watch does continue, I believe. Let me double check that up. That probably will expire as well pretty soon, but the watch does continue until 3 a.m. And I think that'll be allowed to expire pretty soon, like I said, because there's really not much left that would warrant seeing a tornado watch. But could see a few severe thunderstorms pop up. Wouldn't be surprised, but I believe we're at that point of the night now where we're losing our potency. So 128 here, and we're keeping you up to date. I think we're going to go ahead and get ready to toss you back, but we hopefully you stayed safe and didn't have much damage tonight. If you did, though, send us an email. Let us know what's okay, I'm getting actually a report right now before we let you go here from Keevee, where they're saying that maybe more reports of a porch ripped off and some trees ripped down. So maybe we'll send a reporter out that way tomorrow to see what's going on down that way. But so far, a recap real quick. Looks like Corbin had the funnel cloud report and some reports of hail. And then we had the report of the damage to some homes in Keevee. And then otherwise, though, for as long as this tornado warning traveled, basically from Wayne County all the way over to almost Knott County, I think we did pretty good out of this system. So we've got to get ready now for the next round, which should be in a few days. Hopefully you'll get some sleep and we'll get you back to programming, and we should be in good shape for the rest of the night.